These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And I'm throwing them hits on my champagne. And keep throwing them hits, cause I'm on my champagne. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. These niggas about to make a whole lot of money. I like all my kisses, friend, when I'm on my champagne. Everybody turn around taking them big, cause I'm on my champagne. And
scoot up for a second and let's talk. Yo, DJ, roll that beautiful champagne footage. What's going on, Champagne Gang, FizzFam, Confidante? Welcome into the chalet for another episode, crossover episode of the Filez Exposed meets Wellness Waves Wednesdays, where we take a pause from the clinking chaos and focus on our emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. You know, it's all about the total man over here, right? Making sure that we're all together, mind, body, and soul. Drop some champagne glasses in the chat if you feel the same way. If you're in a season of your life where you feel like you want to start focusing on your mental well-being, your emotional EQ, and making sure that your spirit is connected, drop some champagne glasses in the chat if that's where you feel like you are. I know that's where I feel like I am. The more I talk to and encourage y'all, the more it makes me want to connect to my source. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm all about elevating and I'm all about growth. And I know you are as well. And that's why you're connected to this channel. Get it? That's how amazing our God is. So I don't know if you guys got, well, before we get there, y'all, I got to tell y'all, because in case some of y'all didn't know, it's Virgo season. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know, we're not going to get into it, but y'all know Virgos is the best sign, right? I know y'all know that. We're not going to get into it about it, though. We not. But the 18th of this month is my birthday. And I will be 48. Excited, honey. Excited. So, if you want to bless your girl for her birthday, I'm definitely going to make sure the Cash App is dropped. But other than that, and if anybody else has a birthday, please let me know. Because we want to make sure you get celebrated too. Alright? So if you're ready, we're going to get into this week's crossover edition. And I don't know if you caught the clip that was done earlier, because these, again, after they air, they're going to start being moved to our memberships. But I wanted to make sure that the X-Files Exposed was like its own section so people could still watch it. So if you saw that earlier in that debauchery, so what we're going to do is replay that, because it's going to lead right into our Wellness Waves Wednesdays. All right? If y'all are ready, let's get ready to get into it.
Since I get this question a lot, here's a story time on what led up to the divorce from my kid's dad and how I did a sneak meetup with the bitch he was cheating with. So a lot of you guys always ask me, why did me and my kid's dad get a divorce? Since we get along so well, why couldn't we just work things out? So let me help you paint the picture before I tell you this story. I had been with this man since I was 15, 16 years old. Well over 18 years. We were legally married. We got 5 kids together. Like, everything that you could think of, we've been through it together. And after this situation, it still took some growing, but ultimately, like, that's my people. That's my friend. Outside of everything we've been through, I know the one person that cares about me, that I could call, that got my back, is him. Like, no matter what, if I call him, no matter what he's doing, he's going to drop everything at the drop of a dime, and he's going to come, and he's going to make sure that I'm good. It just didn't work out relationship wise. So how we stand now is there's no strings attached. That's really just my folks. But I'm gonna get into what actually led up to the divorce. Okay, so he had been working at the refinery and everything going good. He making good money. And one thing about him, he's always had a real strict schedule. Like, he's not one that hangs out, none of that type of shit. He works, he comes home, he's a family man. Everything else we do it together. So anyhow, you know, over the course of him working there, he comes home every day. He's telling me about the people at work. He's never mentioned any females working there, at least in his section. There are females that work there, but they work like turnarounds and stuff in a whole different area. So I had Booga November of 2017. So rewinding a little bit, when I was like maybe 5-6 months pregnant, one day we go to the water slides with our kids, and while we're there, we passed by this female, and she's like, oh hey, she was like, you finally got a day off? And it caught me. Like, my antennas went up instantly, because everybody knows their spouse. I could tell by his response, he kind of was like, oh shit. Like, it seemed like that. You get it? Then mind you, I'm peeping his response, and he was like super dry with her, like basically brushed her off. He gave like a little head nod, but he like kept walking. That caught my eye too. So, and then also when she said, oh hey, you finally got a day off, she called him by name. So when I instantly was like, who the fuck is that? He was like, man, I don't know, one of them bitches up there. And I'm like, no, she just called you by name. Like, that's friendly. Who the fuck is that? And mind you, I know she can hear me, but the bitch don't say nothing. So anyhow, he was like, man, she probably called me by name by hearing it from the loudspeaker. Ooh, everybody knows me up there. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I keep it in the back of my head. So that was the first red flag that just had, like, you know how you just got that women's intuition? It was one of those. It was like, nah, look into that a little bit more. So I play it like, I start looking into shit now. So that right there opened the door, and it started my FBI, PI shit. You already know, females, that's just what we do. Once our antennas are up, we're going to start digging. And if it's there, we're going to find it. Ain't no hiding it. So anyhow, over the course of, I want to say maybe the next couple months or so, I'm starting to look into everything. I've never been one that like needed to check his phone or nothing, because he never was sneaky with it. I've always had the code. It's always right there. Like, it's just, like I said, he has a routine. So now I'm starting to go through the phone. Now I'm starting to just pay more and more attention. Now I'm starting to like, okay, I'm finna find out who this broad is. I'm gonna see where she work at, because why would you lie and act like you don't work with no females? Like, why would you be hiding that? That's like basic to me. So I didn't, it was just a red flag. So anyhow, he had this work group chat, and it was like a bunch of co-workers in it with their boss or whatever, and they would send them messages sometimes. I didn't never care to go in it, but after that situation, I did. Okay, wait, and I forgot this part. Time had went on since then. It had been months. I had been looking. I didn't find nothing. It was nothing that, you know, was solid to me. So I kind of like let shit go. I had just gave birth, and, you know, I was just enjoying my baby. So one particular day, I don't remember what holiday it was, but it was a holiday coming up, and there was like a big turnaround in his job. Now, when there's a turnaround, it's like a big job. They bring in all these other people from different, you know, anybody that's on like the little list for the refinery work, and it's a lot of people on deck. So I'm like, we got hella leftover gumbo. Like, you should sell gumbo plates. Mind you, I know people who make bank like that. They cook for the turnarounds and they sell their plates $20 a plate. They'll walk away with 3 bands in one night. That type shit. So I bring it to his attention, and he like had every excuse on why we shouldn't sell these plates there. He like, oh no, you know, so now my antennas are back up, because it's like, something ain't right. Why would you turn down some money? So anyhow, now I want to say this is about January. I had Booga November of 2017. So this is like January 2018. So January 2018, he goes to sleep. I go through the phone. Back, like I said, I'm back on my bullshit. I'm back to my PI work, because something ain't right. So anyhow, I go through the phone. He had a work group chat, and it was like a bunch of the co-workers, and they form, and they would text all the time, whatever the case may be. So I go through the group chat, and I write down all the numbers that are not saved, right? I check the ones that are saved. It's nothing there. But when I start looking up the ones that are not saved, what you think I find? One of the numbers came back to a bitch. And what bitch was it? The same motherfucking bitch from that water slide. So now it's game time. Now I'm like, okay, you got me fucked up. Because mind you, I questioned him numerous times about that bitch. And I asked him specifically, do you deal with her? Like, what's up with that? Because I just wasn't feeling that little friendly ass, oh, hey, you can finally get it. Like, no, hold on, bitch. So anyway, he started telling me like, yeah, she works up there, but she don't work in our area. She not a part of our crew. Whoop. Well, she wouldn't be in this group chat if she wasn't. So now I know you've been lying about that. So anyway, I want to say I wake him up like fighting with him about it, right? I wake him up. No, did I wake him up? Because usually I sit on my information for a while. Anyhow, I can't remember exactly when or what I did, but I know when I finally was like, motherfucker, she's in this group chat. You acting like you don't have no dealings with this broad, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, man, I'm not worried about that bitch. That bitch is like a tramp. Like, she's known up there for being a tramp. She fuck with this person and that person, da-da-da-da-da. You sure do know a lot about it. And one thing I always been real firm on is when you start hearing a man down talk a random female real bad, it's usually the opposite. I think men do that shit to try to throw us off or whatever the case may be, but it stuck with me. So that was another red flag. So I leave the house, and when I leave on some mad shit. Just like, okay, I need to go clear my head, figure out how I want to play this. Do I want to pull up at his job, confront the bitch? He's not telling me shit. He's just denying everything. Now he's trying to play it like, oh, you doing too much, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay. So boom, I leave. I go clear my head. In the process of that, I started looking more into the bitch. Now I need to figure out where the bitch at, where she lay her head at, who her mama is. I find out that she does actively work there. She works in his department. He was lying. So I'm like, okay. Now when I come back, I do some shit to get all the information that I needed. And I ain't gonna say exactly what all I got, but I got some shit. Now, what I sit back and I play it like, wait, cool. Not cool to where he thinks I'm letting it go, but I stopped bringing it up because it was taking me weeks to get all of the information that I needed. And now, once I start getting that, now I got to put the pieces to the puzzle together. I'm lining up, looking at hours, any days that you claimed you had overtime, the whole nine, right? So now we're in February. So in February, I was able, it was twice actually, but it was one particular time where he texted me and he was like, hey, they're finishing up a job. It's going to be an extra 20 minutes, but I'll hit you as soon as I'm done when I'm on my way. I said, okay, cool. That was a lie. And I was able to put that together. He actually got off on time. So that extra 20 minutes, yeah, he was with that bitch. So, and bitches is trifling. I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, boom. So when I get that and it's solid, I tell my daughter. My daughter, Booga is now only, 3 months at this point? Yeah, Booga was 3 months. So anyhow, I tell my daughter, call your dad and tell him I dropped Booga on the floor. Now, we lived in a big house with marble floors. So, I knew it would make him worried enough to where he had come, right away. So she like, what's going on? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just call him and tell him I dropped Booga on the floor. So she does it. He comes home instantly. So as soon as he walks in, I'm sitting there calm as a motherfucker. Baby, I'm on the bed asleep. And I said, how long you been fucking that bitch? And he just looked at me, and baby, the look on his face, he knew something was up. He like, what? And I'm like, how long you been fucking that bitch? And I'm like, don't play with me. I already know everything that I need to know. I'm asking you to tell me the details and the truth, because if you don't, it's gonna be worse. He denies it as usual. So after about 10 minutes or so of him just flat out denying it, I was like, check this out, motherfucker. On this particular day, you texted me and said that they was finishing up a job a little bit late. It was going to be 20 minutes. But your badge got you leaving that gate right on time. And then from there, I got your location showing that you went from there to the park right down the street from your job, which is less than 5 minutes away, and you sat there for 18 minutes. Motherfucker, you wasn't there feeding the motherfucking ducks, so what the fuck was you doing? Now, mind you, I'm like, in the process of this, I'm like, you trifling ass motherfuckers, because both of y'all work at that dirty ass refinery. Like I said, we grown. We know you wasn't there feeding the motherfucking ducks, so you nasty motherfuckers was at that park doing something trifling. So anyway, he's like, now when I start saying your badge got you leaving at this time, it shows your location, you went from this. Now he's starting to look worried. Now he's starting to do, man, it's not what you think. I want to tell you the truth, but you be really tripping. But I swear to God, it's not like that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm like, you know how I am. I'm coming to you for the truth, but I'm going to take it 50 steps further. I'm coming to you first, so that way you could just be a man and tell me what it is before I go up there and tear that motherfucker up to get the truth and embarrass everybody. So just tell me. He's still denying it. So now he starts trying to lightweight cover his tracks by saying, okay, look, you know what I'm saying? She do work there. We cool. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But I swear to God, I ain't never did nothing with her. She had asked me for a ride. That was all I needed to hear right there, baby. That was that right there. Because you're lying. You're lying, now you're trying to cover it up. So now he goes right back to speaking down on her. Now it's real tough. Now it's I swear to God, look at her. You know damn well I wouldn't fuck on her. She a bum ass bitch. She hella fucking ugly. Like that bitch trash. She fucked on so and so and so and so, and it ain't like that. We just cool, and I couldn't tell you the truth on that because I knew you was gonna trip and think some other shit, and nah, motherfucker. So I'm like, okay. So in the process of this, now it's I'm getting ready to tear it up, and you know it. And so he calls off work the next day. I think he calls off for the next few days, right? In the process, I'm still telling him, I'm giving you the opportunity to tell me the truth before I figure it all out. So by this point, she was actually at another refinery. And like I said, because some of them refinery workers, they bounce around to different locations if they're not permanent at that site. So on one particular day, I text from his phone, and you know how you can throw something out there and it can be interpreted in many different ways. That's what I did. I hit her and I said, hey, I need you. Now, mind you, if we just cool, you're going to be like, what's up? Her response told me all I needed to know. She responded with the what boy and the roll in the eyes. I said, oh, okay. So I'm like, no, for real, I really need you. I'm like, my car broke down. I made up something. I'm like, I need $1,500, so I could get back to work. And she was like, oh, I ain't got it. I said, I could give it right back to you. I'm like, I'm getting some money. I think I said taxes or something, but I was like, I could give it right back. I'm like, just let me hold it. And she was like, I can let you hold a little bit. So now I'm in my text messages, and he been trying to talk to me, and I've been real quiet, real distant. I'm just working on my plan. So anyway, I finally tell him, I said, let's ride and let's talk. He knew I didn't want to talk in front of the kids. I didn't even really want them to know what was going on. So when we hop in the car, right, I said, get on the freeway. He said, where are we going? I said, to go meet your bitch. And his response, like his whole body language, everything just changed. And I said, I'm telling you now, if you let another bitch tell me anything, it's gonna be worse. I said, so you might as well tell me everything now, because once I get to her, if you let another bitch tell me anything that you haven't already told me, it's up. And he was just like, man, why is you doing this? Some. I said, and I'm about to get some money out the bitch, and you're gonna help me. He's like, I could just tell, like I said, his whole body language just changed. But he ain't said he still get on the freeway. So whatever the case may be, I tell him where to go. I tell the bitch, meet me in the Walmart. So I keep his phone so that way he can't blow my plan. And again, the whole time I'm telling him, tell me whatever I need to hear now. If I hear it from her, I swear to God, it's going to be a problem. So anyway, I text her. She think it's him still. I text her. I said, let me know when you close. We get to the parking lot ahead of time. I had him back into this one spot that had these big cement pillar things in the back. So I said, text me when you close. She texts, she said, I'm 5 minutes away. I said, keep these doors unlocked. When she pulls up, tell her to hop in this car. So I get out, boom. I get behind the cement pillar thing. I hear her pull up. He says, hop in. Oh, mind you, I told him, she thinks she bringing you some money. So anyway, when he says get in the car, I hear her get out. I hear her get in my car. As soon as she gets in our car, as soon as I hear the door shut, I come from behind the cement pillar thing and I hop right in the back seat. I said, so what's up? You always meet married men and give them money? So needless to say, she goes into this little long story about how it's not like that. She like one of the fellas and she understands, like, you know, other people wives have tripped before, but she don't fuck around. Whoop, 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 all this bullshit, right? So finally, it gets awkward. She like, okay, so like, is that it? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. You could go. So I could tell he kind of like loosen up. So when she gets out, she goes around the front. I come around to pass her. I like bump her on the way. I'm like I just feel like she wasn't being 100. Like, you get what I'm saying? And to me, it just seemed like she just bitched up. I'm looking for a problem. I'm telling her everything that this man done said, hoping that she'll get frustrated enough and tell me whatever it is. But when she stick to it, I kind of think like, okay, well, you know, maybe it's not like that. But bitch, you still need to know we don't do that friend shit. So when we hop in the car to leave, his whole demeanor changes. See, I told you, you be tripping, motherfucker. 30 minutes ago, you was just nervous, probably shitting motherfucking bricks on the way here, right? So now when he starts saying, I told you it wasn't nothing, it's just you just be tripping hella much. So we talking the whole way home, right? And I'm like, man, listen, I'm telling you now, I'm not putting up with no bullshit. Like, it's too far in the game. I'm not putting up with no bullshit. I was like, but we gonna see. Like, we gonna see. So when we get in front of our house before we go in, he like, can we just make up? Like, I promise I'm not gonna lie to you no more about nothing. Like, you just gotta really start understanding shit. Sometimes you be unreasonable. He trying to flip the whole shit, right? But something in my motherfucking gut just wouldn't, like, I couldn't let it go. Like, I just felt like I wasn't the one tripping. So I keep his phone because I know if it is something, she gonna hit that phone eventually. So the next day comes around and sure enough, this bitch texts at 11:31. Lunch is at 11:30. At 11:31, a big long paragraph text come through. Now, mind you, like I said, she was at another refinery at this point, so she didn't even know that he wasn't at work. So the bitch thought she was being slick. But anyway, she texts and she's like, I told you I didn't want to be involved in no drama. Don't have me caught up in that shit. Da-da-da-da-da. She was like, and as far as that money, she was like, I'm going to go ahead and chalk that and we can take it out of all the times that you paid for my lunch. Motherfucker, you gave her money? I take off on it. I broke my nail. Anyhow, so I'm on fire. Like now I'm like, whoa. So anyways, he responds to her. He's like, check this out. That's my wife. At the end of the day, whatever. So it starts being like an exchange. Now, mind you, I stay 10 steps ahead. So I had already got her dude's number, the whole nine. The dude worked there also, and he was a foreman. So I call him. So when I talk to him, I bring him up to speed on everything. I tell him all of the events, how she thought she was meeting up with him to give him money, but I got the money, the whole nine. So he instantly was like, oh, that don't surprise me. He was like, 2 months after bumping her, he was like, I already had the bitch getting my name tattooed on her. And he was like, and she be giving me all her money, the whole nine. I'm like, this a bitch. But he like, yeah, he like, so that don't surprise me. He said, and another thing that's suspect, he said, when she knew I was coming to that site, he was like, she told me about a dude up there that be trying to get at her, but she didn't make it seem like she was, involved in it in any kind of way. He like, so that was funny. He said, but hold on, let me call her. So sure enough, whatever he called and said to her, about 10 minutes later, she calls his phone. She calls my husband's phone. So when she calls his phone, she turns up to the max. But mind you, I told him, I said, and you can let her know now I want to see her. Like, I'm going to handle whatever I handle with him, but I gave her the opportunity to tell me whatever she had to tell. Whatever she had to tell me, she should have told me at that moment instead of being fake about it. But since she did, like, now I want to see you about something. So anyhow, when she calls, she like, I didn't fuck him, but I could have. She just laying it all out. Now she talking crazy. I'm like, okay, it's like, it's cool because I'm going to see you. Eventually I'm going to see you. But you's a weak ass bitch because you should have said all of that instead of making up that fake ass story. But nonetheless, now my kid's dad is turned up with her. Bitch, don't you ever disrespect her. Nah, motherfucker, I don't want to hear from you either because you shouldn't have put me in this situation. I told you don't let a bitch tell me nothing. You should have been the one to tell me whatever needed to be said. So whatever the case may be, fast forward, I filed for divorce. I pull up at the job. I'm trying to see her about something. You can't get in the refinery gates. It's all type of shit. He talking about he gonna slap the taste out her mouth. Just all type of shit. All type of drama transpired. I skipped the part. Okay, so after all of the drama that day, her calling the whole nine, like I told him, I gave you the opportunity to tell me. You didn't. Now it's all of this bullshit. So now I leave. I'm like, I need to go collect my thoughts and figure out what I want to do now. I definitely want to fight. I ended up stabbing him. It was a big old drama. It was drama, right? So boom, I leave. I go to Vegas. I stay at my partner house for like, I don't know, a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. So when I come back, now it's March. I come back, I file for divorce. And when I bring him the papers, he like, like why? Like, and I was like, because I really meant what I said. Like, I told you, don't let nobody else tell me nothing. You should have been man enough to tell me whatever it was. And if you really didn't do anything with her, then we probably could have worked on it. Like, we could have got counseling or whatever, but you didn't. So the court date they gave was in September. Why they gave a court date so far out, I don't know. I filed for divorce in March. They gave me a court date in September. I told him, if you're going to save this marriage, you better figure out how. But I know I told you what I told you, and that's just what it is. So now I'm starting to plan for whatever needs to take place. I'm still living here. I'm still doing all of my regular mom shit. I didn't want my kids to know what was going on. And I told him, if it can be fixed, you got to figure it out. I don't know, but I know I'm not dealing with this. So, if something spectacular happens and we're able to fix it, then by all means, we'll see. I don't bring it up no more. Now, when I'm starting to just, don't just think about shit, I'm just like, nah, like, I think I'm just done. So now I'm just preparing for when that time comes. I know I need to move. We need to separate bank accounts, the whole nine, like everything. I'm just putting it in place. So I want to say right around May, June, I didn't see the changes that I felt, could be done. You could have signed us up for marriage counseling, anything. I wasn't going to hold your hand or tell you what could be done to fix it, but I definitely was paying attention and I didn't see what I felt I needed to see. So with that being said, I just started planning my exit. And September comes, and like I said, I think because I was real calm, I didn't bring it up no more, and I kind of just went on with life. He must have got it in his head that I kind of like, was going to let it go or whatnot. So September comes. I'll never forget the day I woke him up and I was like, hey, you going to be late? And he was like, Like, huh? Like, for what? And I said, court. And he was like, man, stop playing. Like, get in the bed. I said, nah, I was serious. And I went to court and I got that divorce. And that's how it ended. Okay, wait a minute. Let's get into this comment. Because you said, so you didn't have any real proof? If you watch part 1, part 2, and part 3, what more proof did I need? I had common sense. That's what I had. 1 + 1 = 2. Like I said in part 2, them motherfuckers wasn't at the park feeding motherfucking ducks or catching fucking butterflies. And furthermore, the way I felt about it is, when I started to look into the bitch, and I started, like, you know, doing my shit, I started realizing I am not about to be arguing with no bitch that is in her 30s, got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and you're living at home with your mama and you don't even have a room there. You sleep on the couch. I didn't feel like it was worth me even entertaining the situation no more. Like, no, that's completely out. I'm not about to be going back. I shouldn't even have to be worried about you creeping with no bitch like that. So it was the common sense for me. That's the proof that I had. And I'm not even the type of bitch that feels like, oh, I'm up here and other bitches be down here. I don't move like that. But when you know your worth, and when you 18 years into a relationship with 5 kids and you married to this person and they do that with somebody like that, yeah, sometimes you just have to remove yourself from the equation. So I'm not about to be living in no doubt. I shouldn't have to go through all of this. I did that just to figure things out, and then that was it for me. And yeah, I was done. Done.
So what y'all think about this story time, child? Listen, this is problem number 1 that I have, and then we're going to transition into our Wellness Waves Wednesdays. Number 1, I never will agree with a woman challenging another woman over her man. That woman didn't make no commitment with you. So what do you mean because you weren't honest with me? It wasn't her position to be honest with you. That's your ninja. That was a choice that he made. At the end of the day, if you cannot trust the man that you are with, why are you with him? And that is the whole purpose of this managing your ship series. Listen, look, I don't care if y'all come out of a bag or whatever. I don't care if my man has female friends. I have male friends. At the end of the day, a woman can walk up to my door butt naked, wrapped in a bow tie. He still has to make a decision whether he's going to unwrap it. So at the end of the day, it's not her fault. It's his. He knew what he had at home. He knew what he invested in. So your fight is never with the other woman. It's with the broad. It's with the dude that you decided to be with. Because why that girl got to be a bitch? Because she wasn't honest with you about your man. How does that even sound? I'm coming to confront you about my man. Yep, come on, y'all. Make it make sense. Sometimes we need to repeat stuff back to ourselves before we say it to see if it makes sense when we hear it out loud before we say it out loud. Or better yet, have someone else repeat it to you and see how it sounds coming out of somebody else's mouth before we say it. Because a lot of times we sound dumb. And I did see some comments in the chat, Nisi B 101, when she was talking about her personality. She really comes off egotistical to me and very combative. And you cannot be combative and expect to have a peaceful relationship. And that's from the man or the woman. She had a lot of, testosterone. That can run a man away too. That can break up a relationship too. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. He just needs a break from the BS every now and then. Right? So let us get ready. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Never check the pimp, check the hoe. Too much TV. Yeah, she got a lot. She got a lot going on. All right, y'all ready? So we're getting ready to transition over into our Wellness Waves Wednesdays for our Managing Your Ship Part 4. If you're ready, let's get ready to get into it. Welcome to another Wellness Waves Wednesday, the crossover edition. Now, before we get into today's lesson, let's recap, because we have missed a few weeks, what we've discussed previously. The first thing we need to discuss is our definition, right? So the definition of relationship is two people on a ship learning to relate. Hence, why the name of this series is entitled Managing Your Ship, because we need to learn how to relate to each other. That's one of the biggest problems in friendship, workships, relationship, companionship, and even some family ships. We just don't know how to relate to each other. But a lot of that is because we haven't taken out the time to really get to know each other. So we're going to recap what we've discussed up to this point. One of the first things that we discussed is understanding who is the co-captain of the ship that you're on, because that will determine the direction the ship is going to go in, right? So then we started talking about the law of attraction. What attracted you to this individual? And whatever attracted you to this individual, is it enough to sustain the relationship? Because these are questions that you have to ask yourself, because attraction changes. What attracted you in the beginning may not be the same thing you're attracted to 2-3 years down the line. So you have to ask yourself, before embarking on a journey as permanent, or should be, as marriage or a long-term relationship, what piqued your interest about this individual? And when it was piqued, what about it caused you to pursue a relationship? In a relationship, the ship itself symbolizes the safety and structure built by two people learning to relate on a ship. They're steering together, navigating storm, enjoying calm sea. But then you have to always remember, if you decide to jump ship, you're leaving behind the shared journey and venturing into the open ocean alone. And that comes with its own set of challenges, right? The wave, hidden predators, and the struggle to stay afloat, even for the best swimmer, which mirrors the waves and the vastness of emotional and mental battles that you may face after ending a relationship or jumping ship, trying to find your way back to safety. So what made you invest in this ship with this individual? Then we went on to discuss availability. How available are you right now? Not how single, but how available are you? There's a difference. Availability is the quality of being available, which means present and ready for immediate use. And we looked at this from two different angles. Are you putting too much of yourself on the table with someone who hasn't shown you that they're worth what you have to offer? That's availability. But also on the flip side, are you trying to pursue something with someone and your heart is in another place? Your body was just in another. Your thoughts are in another. Are you really fully available for what you're trying to pursue? The Bible says the two shall become one. In order for two to become one, that means I have to take one whole with another one whole. I have to merge them together so that together they become one whole. You can't do that if your mind is on Johnny, your body was just with Bobby, your thoughts are with Ricky, but you're in a current situation with Mike. Because to become one, that means you have the same aspiration, the same desire. You're headed in the same direction. And when I say aspirations and desires, I mean in regards to where you see your relationship going. Do you think, operate, and move the same? If not, you're unequally yoked. And a lot of times, because we're so desperate to have someone in our lives, we fall for anything out of desperation. We don't even know ourselves enough to know what to desire, what to want. So we're jumping from one ship to the next, leaving pieces of ourselves behind on each one. Then we went on to discuss how much value do you place on what you have to offer. Because when you know your worth, you realize that as much as you desire it, what you have is too precious to just relinquish haphazardly repeatedly over a feeling and you make it less available for access. So how much do you value who you are? How much value do you place on what you bring to the table? What's our saying? Know your worth and then add tact. Because when you know who you are and when you know your worth, you'll deflect anything that doesn't represent it and that can't add to it. So first you got to know who you are. First you have to value yourself. First you have to validate yourself and stop looking for and seeking validation from outside sources. It's called self-esteem for a reason. In the words of Cat Williams, it's esteem of your mother freaking self. So until you establish self-worth, you shouldn't be chasing anything. Matter of fact, you ought to take this voyage alone with just you and your ship until you realize the value that's on your ship. A lot of times people take advantage of you because you didn't even know that there was things on your ship that they could take advantage of. They're telling you things about you didn't even know. They're pointing out things to you didn't even know. They're making you love parts of you that you didn't even know existed. Then when they walk away, you feel empty because they showed you something about you that you didn't know. And you want them to stick around so that they can continue to explore your bag and tell you who you are. Sounds crazy when I repeat it back to you, don't it? Nothing in this life is free and nothing in this life comes easily. So why should you? People are willing to pay for anything they want these days. They want a big ass, they gonna pay for it. They want a new set of teeth, they're gonna pay for it. They want a nice car, they're gonna pay for it. If they want to take a cruise, guess what? They're gonna pay for it. And when I say pay, I'm not talking monetary, because no monetary value should ever be placed on your work. Money should never be able to suffice, because money you can't get back. You deserve a gift that once given, you can't get it back. You deserve an investment of time, because if you think it's all about money, it's showing me how ill prepared you are for this conversation. If you are in a relationship right now that is not beneficial to you, I need you to remember this one fact. A diamond will always be a diamond. When it no longer shines where it is, when its luster is no longer prominent, it does not do away with itself. It changes its setting. If what you're set in doesn't make you feel brilliant, amazing, if it does not work to enhance your shine, don't question your self-worth, because you're worth more than you'll ever understand. Question your setting. Brilliant diamonds with super clarity are not easy to find. You have to put in work to own it. And when a person truly understands the value of what they own, they cherish it. They get insurance on it, and they'll protect it with everything in them. And not just anything can get close to it because of what they had to go through and how much they had to pay to get it. That's what love does. And if your love doesn't reflect that, well, maybe it's not love. And we ended with discussing the introduction for this week, which was the need to evaluate, is this individual that you're attempting to board this ship with, are they a friend or are they foe? So now let's get ready to get into this week, Wellness Waves Wednesday, part 4 of managing your ship. So how do you determine friendship? Do you determine friendship as someone close to you who has your best interest at heart? Do you determine it as someone with whom you can share everything with? Someone who knows your deepest, darkest secrets, but won't share them and won't look at you differently because of them? Someone with whom your past doesn't dictate your future? Someone you can be yourself with, whether you're goofy, serious, creative. Someone who can correct you from the heart, not to belittle you, but to better you. Because you know a lot of y'all have a problem being corrected. You think anybody that tries to correct you is an op. You think the only people that are really there for you are the individuals that agree with everything you do and say. Do y'all know how immature that is? And damn delusional. But is that how you determine friendship? Or how about someone who can tell you the truth about yourself without an ulterior motive? Someone you entrust your life with. How about someone whose every word you trust, even if it goes against your own intention? Because if this is not how you evaluate your friendship, baby, you in trouble. And this is how you keep getting stabbed in the back by individuals that you call friends. This is how y'all keep finding yourselves traversing through the treacherousness of the ocean, because you've been cast off the friendship, forced to walk the plank from the friendship And now you're finding yourself in the ocean all alone because you didn't set up any boundary. You didn't set up anything or have anything in place to measure the friends that you allowed into your life. And before you knew it, without notice, 1 minute you're on the ship and you're having fun. The next minute you're in the water trying to figure out if you can float. You better check your friendometer gauges and find out who's really for you, because the individuals that you have on your ship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a companionship, and for damn sure if it's a situationship, they either have the ability to be your best friend or your worst enemy. A lot of the nightmares you lived in life have been because of someone you call friend. So let's get into it, because these are all questions that you need to ask before you get on the ship. See, with a lot of us, we ask these questions while we're on the ship when trouble arises. If I am a boat captain and I'm on a yacht and I'm on the ocean enjoying the water, the time for me to understand how to operate the ship is not when I'm in the middle of a storm. The time for me to understand how to operate the ship and what the ship can do is before I even board the ship. Get it? Because that's how you set yourself up for failure. Because in relationship and in friendship, we're always reactive instead of being proactive. Reaction is a response, an immediate response to something that just happened. You just reacting to it. But proactive says, let me step back and get to understand what I'm trying to embark on this journey with, so that before I even step on the ship, I'm prepared for anything that may arrive. But you can't do that if you don't take the time out to get to know your ship. See, what we do is we get with someone cute, we get with someone fine, somebody that tells us the words that we need to hear, somebody who whispers those words so sweet that they seem to drip from our ear like honey, coated in sugar and dipped in chocolate. And we get so entranced and aroused in the moment that we don't ask no question. We don't think about, if I do this, what is it going to look like 1 year down the line? We get in it for the moment and for the fun. And by the time we realize that it was all a mirage, it's too late and we're already in the middle of it. We're already on the ship in the middle of the ocean with no land nowhere in sight. And half of us can't swim. So if you gotta jump ship, how much more danger do you think you're gonna be? Because as pretty as the ocean is, baby, underneath that glistening blue is a whole new world waiting to consume and devour you. Now let's face it, we all have a past. So this isn't as much about digging into a person's past, although there are some things you should know. But the question is, can the person in your life handle who you were while yet accepting who you are, with no preconceived notions that who you were is a defining factor in who you will be? Only a true friend can accept you past your faults and not allow your faults to be a factor in your future. Let's talk about it. That's how I know a lot of y'all don't have friends. No one in your life should be closer to you than the person who you are going to make your partner. No one. No one should know the most intimate details about your life besides your mate. When you allow others to know more about you than the person you're spending the rest of your life with, you give outside entities power and influence over your relationship. Let's face it, the individual that we are involved with does not want to be the last to know. See, I'm a put it on the table and let me figure out if I want to deal with it type chick. But when you don't put it on the table so I can make a choice, then you've removed my free will from me and my choice, and now I have a problem. But if I jumped into a situation without giving time for me to know, then whose fault really is it? Is it your fault for not putting it on the table in the beginning? Or is it my fault because I rushed into something and by the time I realized it wasn't on the table, once again, I had already set sail and I'm in the middle of the ocean with nowhere to turn but the open water. So you gotta ask yourself, whose fault is it really that you didn't know? Did you give yourself a cushion period in order to know? That's the question. No one in your life should be closer to you than the person you are going to make your partner. No one. No one should know the most intimate details of your life besides your mate. No one. Because when you allow others to know more about you than the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, you give outside entities power and influence in your relationship. That's why a lot of people tell you, stop putting your relationship on social media. Until you have solidified it, you shouldn't share it for others to influence and infect it before you get the opportunity to get to know it. But the question is the person you are with mentally capable of handling the full disclosure of who you are? And that does not mean you have to disclose everyone you've been with, etc. No, but that does mean sharing in the things you used to do, because a lot of what we used to do, the good, the bad, and the ugly, although it doesn't define us, it does factor into who we are. No matter how we like to erase some of those things. Because I tell you, there's some things I wish I could press Control Alt Delete on, but they are still in there, and rightfully so, because without them you wouldn't be as strong, as attentive, as assertive, as passionate, as influential, or as driven as you are today. But the same goes for past relationships as well. Past relationships don't define you, but they do factor into how you respond to new situations. There's an old saying, right? We wouldn't appreciate the sun if there'd never been any rain, and the same holds true for us. We wouldn't recognize and appreciate a good relationship had we not had our fair share of bad ones. And then you have to recognize that all relationships aren't bad. But if they weren't headed in the direction that you were trying to go, they were just bad for you. Watch this. If you're trying to go left and I'm trying to go right, you're not a bad individual because you want to go left. Nor am I a bad individual because I want to go right. We're just not good for each other because we're not heading in the same direction. Get it? So it's time for you to start evaluating whether the person you are with is a friend or a foe. Watch this. A friend is not the person always breaking your heart. A friend is there to keep you from losing the broken piece and are still there until it's mended again. Your friend is not always able to fly with you, but when they can't fly with you, I promise you they're somewhere watching for sniper. But also watch this. As true as the above statements are, friends are also there to tell you the truth, even when it hurts, even when they're not on the same level as you. If they are truly your friend, you should be able to respect what they have to say to you and take it to heart, because you know a true friend is not there to hurt you. They are there to help. A true friend is not there to enable you. They're there to empower you. Y'all remember that old saying, friends don't let friends drive drunk? The same goes true here. Friends don't allow friends to blindly walk into situations that they know are going to end badly for them and be detrimental to their life without speaking up and saying something, even if it means your friend is going to get mad at you. Because if they're really a friend, they'll take some time to reevaluate the reason they were mad and measure it against what you said and realize that you were only trying to help and not hurt. If you're a true friend, but can you trust them with that kind of power in your life? And again, I say, if you can't, you need to check your friendometer gauges, because some of your gauges are running on E. Now, here's the thing, right? Because the two can become confusing, because sometimes the truth does hurt, and it does that to bring light to the true issue. But when it changes from the truth hurting you to the person hurting you, you might not be dealing with a friend. You might be dealing with a foe, because jealousy is ugly. Jealousy happens in friendships and in relationships. And a lot of the people who are attached to you, some people are only attached to you because they're jealous of you. And they're attached to you because they want to bring you down. They want to sabotage your best intentions. They want to sabotage all of your goals. They want to destroy any chance that you have of excelling past them. They don't want to eat with you. They want to destroy you so that they can eat on top of your rotting corpse. Let's talk about it. But see, y'all don't know how to measure your friends. So because you don't know how to measure your friends, you definitely don't know how to measure your relationship, because no one should be closer to you than your significant other. Otherwise, you should be on a ship with them. We've all heard this before. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. When someone in your life is constantly saying things to hurt you, they're not trying to help you. If a person is always willing to see the negative in you and constantly throwing it in your face, they're not a friend. For a friend sees the negative, not based on personal convictions, but based on what's on the inside of you, and they want to see the good in you prevail at all time. But a foe? A foe sees the negative and feeds off of it and throws it in your face based off personal convictions of who they feel you should be, and will throw them in your face to get you to conform to what they want as opposed to what you need. They don't care about your full potential coming forth. All they care about is your potential to conform to what they want you to be who they want you to be. Friends pour into you. Foes deplete you. They have no intention of seeing you on top. They always want to keep you beneath and catering to them with no intentions of catering to you. Your needs matter little in the scheme of what they want unless your needs coincide with what they want. And they can be tricky. You heard the old saying, you give an inch, they'll take a mile. Well, with foes, they give you an inch at a time but expect you to run a mile to catch up. So who are you dealing with? Someone who sees you for you and wants to constantly push you to be all that you can be? Or someone who sees you and wants to constantly push you to be all they want you to be? Do not lose yourself in becoming someone else for someone else. Lose yourself in becoming the epitome of who God wants you to be in the life of someone else. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of who you choose to be. So, lady, are you pawns on the board rushing to change into something else to get to the king? Or are you a queen already on the board protecting your king? For your job is to protect the heart of the king. We'll get to that later on in the lesson. But is the king on your board's heart worth protecting? Because if it isn't, then you are not aligned with a friend. You are in cahoots with a foe. Brothers, bottle boy, are you a king already? The board is yours. If the one you've made queen keeps leaving you open for a checkmate, then she can't protect you, and she's not the one for you. Let's talk about it. You need to kick that cicada to the curb and let her stick to the rivers and the lakes that she used to. You can't keep getting mad because women keep draining you dry when you're handing them the stopper. Y'all keep placing your life in the hands of individuals who haven't even proven to you they are worth it. Why? Because the pipe game is good? Pipe don't pay bills, sorry. Pipe don't speak the words of encouragement you need when you feel like your life is falling apart. Pipe isn't going to throw you a lifeline to keep you from drowning. It's good though. Was it because the putty tap was good? The Tootsie Pat made your toes curl? But can it cook you a meal when you've been at work for 12 hours to make sure you have a home? Can it rub your back, your feet? Can it whisper words of encouragement to you when you feel like you're failing as a man? Can it help tilt your crown when you feel it's starting to fall without letting anyone know it was crooked? Come on now. See, we fall for the wrong stuff, and then we're hurt when it falls apart. It was never based on anything sustainable. Sex only lasts for moments. What, 30 minutes? For some of y'all, 1 to 2, 5 to 10. And if it's good, maybe 45 to an hour, if you include foreplay, you know, a little head. But what do you have when you get up besides a wet tail and a wet pecker? What do you have? Because you can't front all day. It's going to get old. So what do you have? What are you basing this relationship on? What is the foundation? Lust? Well, you can lust for someone else. Lust has no allegiance. Lust doesn't say I'm confined to you. That's what love does, not lust. Lust is a whole nother beat that y'all play with, but aren't ready for the consequences of it. Because lust says, if I can't have you, nobody can. Lust says, I'll take you out before I allow someone else to have a part of it. And then lust is on to the next. But love is where the staying power is. And that's where we'll end this week, Wellness Waves Wednesday. Oh, we gonna be here for a while because I'm tired of all of the brokenness because of who we chose to make a bed buddy. So I'm about to drop the link. And if you want to come on up and chat about the X-Files Exposed story or about today's Wellness Waves Wednesday and hear the topic so that you all know. Availability, knowing your worth, the law of attraction, or understanding whether your partner is a friend or a foe. If you are coming up, those are the 4 areas we will be discussing on tonight regarding the Wellness Waves Wednesday. And I want your opinion on it. All right? Thank you for joining me in another Wellness Waves Wednesday crossover edition. And now I will return you to the live with your hostess with the mostest, the Empress Champagne Secrets. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? So what did y'all think about the X-Files Exposed story? I've read some of the comments and also managing your shift, getting to know whether who you're with is a friend or a foe. Do you know? Have you figured it out yet? Are you sleeping with the enemy and you just don't know it? Are you paying attention to the signs? Because there's always signs, baby. We just don't pay attention to them. We get so caught up and stuck in the woe of it. We get so caught up and stuck in the eroticism. They make us feel good. They say the right words. They touch us the right way. The intimacy makes us explode. Is that what we get stuck on? I see I got somebody backstage. So we are getting ready to let them up so we can have a conversation. Give me 1 second. Hey, Niecy B girl.
Hey, baby.
How are you?
I'm still not feeling good, y'all, but I'm still here with y'all. Y'all know this, right? So, I just wanted to comment on that lady that did look like she was about to be entering a funeral home at any day to make a fashion show for the funeral home. But she a hot mess too because she bring on too much negative energy and she brought negativity to her relationship, and that's why she getting a divorce. As far as friendship's concerned, by hearing you talk, because baby, when I tell you you told it tonight, honey, you hit everything on the nose for real. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we as ourselves have to watch and look at ourselves and see who we pick and choose to be around us. And by you bringing that up tonight, it made me realize that the people I had around me were fake as ever. And me thinking that I can change, because sometimes I get into in myself, no, that person ain't like that. But Maya Angelou says when a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Absolutely.
So I thank you so much for that, Champagne, because that was deep right there, baby. I had to lay my burden down. You hear me? I apologize for making all these messed up decisions, and I can only right now is just try to heal and move forward.
And that's the whole purpose of it, because a lot of times we don't ask the right questions. We don't. We just jump into stuff because we want to live. We want to have fun. We want to have people we can connect with. There's times I used to look at girls who were cool with a bunch of girls, and I'd be like, dang, I want to have a bunch of friends. Then you start talking to some of them girls, and you like, do y'all even like each other? See, I don't have time for all of that.
Exactly. It's first of all, I did used to try to have girls as my friends, but they turned around and want to be with my baby daddy and do dumb stuff. So I tried to have male friends. And believe it or not, some of the things that you were saying tonight was talking about some of these so-called male friends I call myself having because I've been hurt by the females so much. They
Right.
starting to act like females too. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like I'm caught up in a world where okay, Nisi, everybody ain't your partner, everybody ain't your friend. Even if they try to convince you, because you got to remember the devil and his demons can be so cunning that
Right.
they get into the people that you want to really, really love, and they hurt you too. So at the end of the day, I'm so glad that you made those pointers about the questions that we need to ask ourselves, and you really have to sit down and get yourself together before you start calling somebody your friend.
Absolutely. The same way we vet our partners, we have to vet these friendships, because your friends have the potential to be your worst enemies if you're not careful. And to
Yes,
be honest with you, a lot of our friends are our worst enemies. When I
ba-
go through the whole fake friend gate on TikTok, and I'm looking like, how did y'all not see the signs? But the problem with us is it's not that we don't see them. We spend so much time ignoring them, thinking it will never affect us.
that's
So we
right.
don't pay attention to the signs. And like you said, Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
You
But see,
can't
we don't
change them.
believe them.
You can't change them. And I really actually thought I could really like, no, she ain't do that. I know she gonna do better than that, or I know he gonna do better than that. Trick no good.
Absolutely. Welcome to the stage, Progressive One.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello,
Hey,
hello.
progressive.
What's going on? I
It's all good. You sound kind of low.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, better.
I feel like as far as this goes with friendship, unfortunately, as I said before, I take it back to the top. We have all this time, especially if you grew up in a certain environment, and people are teaching you loyalty. You got to be loyal against all odds, even if it's to your own detriment. So then you go outside of your home, then you get into friendships, and then you feel like friendships is like a gang and you got to get beat out or die out. That's not the case. If it's not working for you, you got to step away, or either it's going to be you.
That's right.
Facts.
That's right. That's so right. Y'all, I feel so miserable.
I hear you sniffing. Have you taken a hot toddy yet?
Listen, this is what I said. Should I go get some gin and try to
Listen,
handle this?
you look. Let me tell you. You need to go get some whiskey, either some old granddads or some of that old Tennessee whiskey, the old stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna have to, y'all, because listen. I've been on NyQuil, honey. I'm talking about severe cold, and I've been sick for 3 days. It's going on 4 days now. I don't have COVID. I went to urgent care. I don't have COVID, y'all. So it's like I got a most terrible cold for real. It's like when am I gonna be able to taste something? I want to be able to taste again. I can't even taste no weed or nothing. I ain't even able to get high.
You know that's tragic. Definitely go get you some old granddad's whiskey. Get you some lemons, cut them up. Get you some honey and get you some tea. Like green, I use chamomile because I like chamomile tea.
Oh, I had some chamomile tea today.
Yeah, and you boil the tea and then pour the whiskey in it because you want it like steep. And then I boiled my lemons in my tea.
That's what I just did, Champagne. It's just the whiskey missing. The whiskey is missing. That's what it is. So I'm going to have to cut this down because my kids and grandkids treat me like I'm infected. Like I am cornered off in my room. Thank God I got a bathroom in here because they treat me like I'm infected.
And then you also, too, you want to get you some cranberry juice, some organic cranberry juice. And then
organic.
Yeah, organic. Make sure that it's pure so it can flush your system out.
Because I was thinking about taking an antibiotic, but then I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask the people first.
This is me personally. I feel like modernized medicine has its place, but I also believe that a bunch of things that they prescribe we should necessarily be putting in our bodies. If you
That's right.
In order to be able to take care of what you got to take care of, then you do that. But also at the same time, for me, I feel like the holistic approach is the better approach because you're literally putting things from the earth into your body, not something that they made in a factory.
Amen, Progressive. You right about that. So that's the reason why I didn't take the antibiotic because I got to listening to Dr. CB's son who was saying that we should start doing turmeric and ginger and all of that when we catch colds and all of that. So I do got the ginger and lemon tea, and like Champagne said, I boiled it all of that together. It's just that like she said, I probably need to add that whiskey, and I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah, and some honey if you have some honey.
Oh yeah, I got honey.
Yeah. And boil you some water and then let it steam and just hold your face over the steam and let that steam clear you out too. Especially if you got like some essential oil like peppermint or something. What's the other one? Tea tree that you can just put in the water while it's steaming, and then that's gonna help clear you out too.
I got some tea tree because I had got our aromatherapy thing and it came with a lot of them different oils. So I'm going to use that in my aromatherapy and just sit in the dining room and let that stuff go motivate me. Because as of right now, I've been infected for 3 days and I can't take this.
Welcome to the stage, Father Locke.
Hey, Father Locke.
I wonder if we have a delay again. Can you hear us? See, if he's listening to us on the TV, he's going to hear a delay because the TV airs kind of like
behind
15 seconds or so behind the actual live. So
Okay.
with you on the stage, it's in real time. But if you backed out and went back to just watching on TV, it'll be like a delay, 15,
Okay.
20-second delay. Can you hear us, Father Lot? So at what point, I got a question. At what point have you guys been in a relationship and noticed that you were headed for a shipwreck? What were your signs to let you know something was going wrong? Have you set parameters to be able to know?
Ooh
For
wee.
me, it was one of the most traditional ways where I knew that it was going bad when making it home from work on time started to be later and later.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Mine would be is your whole demeanor didn't change from when we first met. Things just started changing. Like you not calling like you used to. You not coming through like you used to. It's like your demeanor changing. You always got an attitude about something. It's like your demeanor mostly.
Okay. When do you know when you're in a relationship that this is the one?
For me,
What lets you know this is the one?
I learned from my parents, and I
Okay.
simply learned that when you have the one,
You sound far again, Progressive.
I learned from them that when you have the one, that one, your love is beyond any circumstance, above any type of obstacle, and it could be something as simple as I watched my parents split a Happy Meal together before because they couldn't afford to feed us and themselves. But I also was able to see them when they had money and they remained the same. And that's the difference that's going to let you know when you got the one. Can you hold me down when I can't hold it? And can I vice versa for you? If you can't do that, then you're not the one, because at the end of the day, you're going to be in a relationship and one or the other is going to be down, if not both of you, sometimes at the same time. And then you got to pick each other up.
Absolutely. But what lets you know that in the beginning? So in the beginning, you have someone that you meet and you're deciding to see if this is someone that you could potentially have something more prominent with. What is the thing that kind of lets you know in the beginning? Yeah, this might be somebody I want to settle down with.
I would give them a test without them knowing that it was a test to signify the statement that I just made. Even if it just be something just minuscule, like, man, like, dang, I just ran into a jam. Da 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 da. I'm gonna see how you respond. Is this my issue or is this our issue?
That's a good one, Progressive. Because I think to me personally, when you know that this is your one, is when y'all more friends before y'all became lovers. When you are friends more than anything, when y'all vibe like a man and a woman just vibing like that. Cause I got a sense of humor myself, and if my confidant got the same sense of humor and we kicking it like that, that's
Right.
my man's.
Right.
That's my man's. So I think you will have to be more friends before you become lovers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. I got somebody else popped in. Hold on one second. Okay, I think we got Father Lock back. Can you hear us, Father Lock?
I can.
Oh my God!
Okay.
What's up, Champagne Gang family? I'm doing great. Lovely ladies and gentlemen, the same. How y'all feeling tonight? I'm doing
All
great.
right.
I could not wait to get to this live. It does, don't it? It's just what is this, Wednesday?
Right.
Yeah, this our Friday, y'all. We got Friday early.
It actually is my Friday because I'm off tomorrow, so it actually is Friday for me.
Hey, that's what's up.
I gotta plan a good show for tomorrow then.
Yeah, you must. You must, since I'm not creating, so I can watch you. So I'm gonna need you to do some creating, Empress.
I got you.
And let it be
Why?
deep. Let it just be deep. Deep.
Why you? Why you in the live preaching tonight? We got Sister Mary Empress in the house tonight, y'all.
Amen.
You
Amen.
know, we got Shepherdess Champagne, Pastor Empress. You know, I feel like I need to go get saved, drink some holy water, take communion, go ask for forgiveness.
I told her it's that voice. It's that voice, baby.
Oh, I can't
I
breathe.
said all the time. I said when I share her content, when I'm telling people to come to her channel, like y'all, that voice.
It's so soothing, and then at the same time, it's gonna discipline your ass. So get ready. No.
Right. Don't she discipline you in the most subtle way?
Yes. Like, damn, I did that. Damn.
I just could be married to her, nothing like that. She want me a new one. I'm like, yeah, baby, for real. Ain't no good. You want a divorce? Swear to that I promise I'll be the best divorced person you ever divorced.
I really want to ask Father-Lock and Progressive. I want to get a male perspective out of this. Father-Lock and Progressive. If y'all don't mind me asking y'all, how do y'all feel about that first lady, about her situation and her divorce? How do you all feel about that?
Okay, for me, because I wanted to piggyback off of what Progressive said. I was listening when he said the whole thing with loyalty. And, this is what's crazy to me with loyalty, because people tell you this, we always hear people say, oh, stick into it through the end, loyalty no matter what, even if you have to put yourself on the back burner, put yourself up front, you on the chopping block, this and that and the other. But do you stop to think for 1 minute, if that person entailed any loyalty to you, you wouldn't have to go to those lengths to prove loyalty to them.
Okay, nah.
Yeah.
Are you not seeing that why would you do it? It's just like when I hear boys out in gangs and they get caught and, oh, I'm not telling this and that and the other, so-and-so, and you sitting there and you would rot for somebody that don't. What is wrong with you? Loyalty to who? What loyalty do you hold to this person? What have they offered you beneficial to your life? You behind a bar and they outside. What is you talking about loyalty?
Right.
Loyalty to who? They're making sure that they can continue doing what they're doing, and you sitting in there being this quiet mouse. No, I'm not snitching on my buddies. I'm not. They wouldn't have put you in a position to whereas you would have had to. You have to look at what people are offering you to your life, going back to loyalty and the whole thing with what's going on with her divorce. Right. What did you find into this man that was contributing conducive, that said anything to you, marriage material, father material, someone I need to give myself to, devour myself to, give my innermost secrets, my innermost wants and fantasies, this and any other, picking back off of what Empress said about lust. Lust and love are two different things, and they do not counteract. They constantly counteract because they don't mix well. It's like mixing oil and water. Right. You have to understand if somebody's in love with you or in lust with you. Because love entails different things. Love goes past the aspects of sexual desires for me. Love would make you want to stay there with me and not put me in compromising positions to whereas I would need to divorce you or have even the slightest thought of wanting to. Love for me, love with me would make me want to be everything that you need me to be for you because of that very love. So it wipes out all these other things that would have to be a factor in our marriage, relationship, or whatever type of situationship we may be in, that would cause us to have to go through these emotions that don't fit our relationship. We wouldn't have to go through these problems. People tend to forget the word ship.
Right.
What is a ship? I said this in a previous live. What is a ship? A ship is a means to transport you from one place to another. A sportsmanship, a showmanship, a companionship, a business ship. And if the ship is not sailing, abandon the fucking ship. I'm not going to drown in something that I didn't put a hole in.
Right.
That's right.
Come on, man. Abandon ship.
And you know,
Hey,
one of the
Filez,
things about her, it was her arrogance that
and
stood
that's
out
what it
to
is.
me.
It's the and what is this with? And that goes to show, you said it right there. This arrogance. What is this arrogance in relationships? One of us is better than the other. Where happened to
Right.
us being solely one person, like you
Yes.
said earlier? When
And
God put
talking
us
like she a
together.
man. She was talking
Yeah.
like she a man. She's
Right.
not
But
a
you know why?
man.
But you know why? Look what she's with. Because if she was with a man, she wouldn't feel like she had to become one. See, it takes both people. See, I'm not going to just beat up the women now. It takes these men to stop being walking around being these titty babies.
That's okay. We'll beat up the women for you. That's all right.
That's all
You
right, because
know,
she was wrong, though. She was wrong. You cannot sit up and act like you got more testosterone than your own partner.
well,
Some
yeah,
that ain't gonna work.
well,
That's not gonna
yeah,
work.
You know, a lot of
you're
these women, to
right.
be honest with you, a lot of
You're
these
right.
women want to be in control. They really don't want a man to be the head and to be the leader and all of that. They want to have someone on their side who's just going to be a yes man. Come
And you
rub
know
my
what?
feet. Yeah, baby. Buy me a
And I
purse.
agree with
Yeah,
you.
baby.
And then they
I agree with
creating a
you.
BAN. Y'all know what that means. They're creating a BAN.
Yeah. H-A, yeah.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
know what that
So who
means.
wants that? Who wants that as a man? So that means when we get ready to fight, I'm gonna do more fighting than you. That means I'm gonna have to kick your ass when I get done fighting.
No,
Right.
actually, I'm not. Actually, I'm gonna start swinging on you first because I'm gonna wonder why you want the one swinging first. I'm a whole female, and you didn't even so much as sneeze at this nigga, let alone swing on him. Oh no, we
Right.
fighting first. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna be at you later. I know we got something to scrap, but let me show my man something right quick, because obviously he got on my bra. I'm finna beat the man. Ain't no way.
Exactly.
And,
You can't be
again, I
and you
say,
both can't wear lipstick.
And I'm a
again,
whole man, and
here's
I
the
agree with
thing.
that. Like, come on, man. Like,
Here's
come
the
on.
thing. How is it that you have
Well,
the unmitigated gall to go confront another woman over your man? Like, that don't even sound right. I'm coming
Say
to
it,
talk to
girl.
you
Say
about my man. How does
see,
that
this
even compute to come out of your mouth?
First of all, I'm not even going after the other person. See, this is where I pull the line at that. The other, okay, a perfect example. I'm gonna use myself. Being in a relationship, if I deed off with somebody else, that somebody else don't owe no loyalty, respect. That don't have to give a damn about my mate. They not in a relationship with my mate. I'm in a relationship with my mate, and if I didn't care about our relationship, why would the person on the outside of it give a damn about it? They don't gotta respect our relationship. That was me.
Right.
Now, I understand some people having certain morale for themselves and just wouldn't go to those links. Oh, you involved? Okay, I want no part of you. But somebody who wants some, just like anybody else, they don't have to respect your mate.
Right.
You have to respect your mate. You handle that with your mate. You don't go after no other person. They do not owe you no. Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't acquaintances. Y'all not girlfriends. Y'all just somebody who's on the same beat, and you mad because she got some too. I'm gonna need you to beat him up. Not
On
her.
another live champagne, me and you were talking about that B word. Like she was so strong with that bitch word. The girl was a
Right.
bitch off rip. Okay.
Right.
So I'm just saying she really off rip wanted to blame this woman off rip without blaming him too, because it takes two, baby.
That's
Him
why
and
I
her.
commented to you and I said what Nessie said. It does. It takes two. You can't just blame one person.
Niecy gonna get us. It's Niecy B.
Oh, that's right. I
No,
want to call
y'all
Roxy.
can call me Niecy. It's fine, as long as y'all not calling me Nessie. Y'all can call. Yeah, that's what everybody call me is Niecy. Niecy B. You know, that's just me. That just puts me. Hey, that's the B right there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, y'all, the only reason why I really wanted to get a male perspective on this because so I have seen other women nag they man so much. Like, let me see your phone. Give me your PIN number. What is you doing? Who is that? That will nag a person to the point so much. I ain't trying to be funny, but it will lead your man to cheating. Because I have seen it with my own eyes. If you stay
You
on
know
a
what?
two-head all the
You
time
know
like
what?
that, it will push him to cheat.
I agree in one aspect with that, in a certain bit of an aspect, and that's because you get tired of feeling like you being lied on. So now when you say now you have no purpose. Now I've done it. So now when you say now I don't have to be lied on. Because now you made me do it. Because after so long of being accused of something, you get tired of it. And it's not so much that you want to purposely go out and do it. What it does is, if you never had that in your mind, see what some women tend to forget or probably don't think, we don't have cheating in our mind until you put it there.
Facts. Facts.
We don't.
Well,
And I'm being
I am
honest.
here to admit, Father, like I did. I just was in a relationship. He kept on throwing it up in my face, and I'm not trying to use this as no excuse, but he kept throwing it up in my face. I know you cheating because of his last relationship. He just kept on saying it. And then, y'all, he needed to work out some things with his feet because you can't have athlete's foot coming over people's house, walking on the carpet, and not talking. So when I talk to you
No.
about it, you want to act like you got a problem with it. So my thing, I cheated. Yes, I did. But I admitted to it. I apologized. I asked for forgiveness. And I also said too, if you won't forgive me, remember you said you forgive me. Don't bring this up anymore. He kept bringing it up, y'all. So it's over. So I can't keep living my life like that. Don't try to treat me like a wet food stamp. Don't treat me like I'm a wet food stamp. No.
I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't with you right now.
Oh, that felt
And
good,
then
y'all.
he
That
had
felt
to
good to
work.
get that off my shoulders. Oh, that felt so
Here's
good.
the thing,
I'm gonna
right?
need forget your shoulders. I'm gonna need you to go get that off your carpet because that was personal. She
I
said he
did,
had to
baby.
do
Please.
something
Oh,
with his.
Stanley Carpet Cleaner did a good job. Please believe that.
Not if this was a cartoon, he would have them wavy lines coming from his shoes. I can't and I won't.
No, you cannot get mad if I go buy some Arm and Hammer and a foot soak and nail clippers and stuff and act like I'm trying to play you. You gonna get
No,
mad about it? That means you
no,
are immune to this shit, and I can't
no,
help it no more.
because
I'm not no foot doctor.
I'm a big man about that. My family used to laugh at me because I am so particular about my feet. Being a man, you would have thought that if you saw my feet, you would have thought I took a picture of a female's feet. They are so neat and clean and shaved and polished and pink and pretty nails and this. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm just not that dude. First of all, I only wear 8.5. My feet too small for me to even allow them to get like that. First of all,
Right.
and sit there and let your feet just get. And then it's dangerous. Nail fungus is very dangerous, and people don't realize that fungus get into your bloodstream is over for you.
That's right. I told him if I get a bump, I'm suing the shit out of him. So that's why I make sure I clean my stuff.
And yes,
I'm
they
good
can
now.
spread it. Being on your
Yes,
carpet, being in your
that is
bed,
a
being in your
fungus.
tub, they can spread it. Yep, they can
Yep.
give it to you.
I wish I would catch a bump anywhere.
But
And
for
here's the
me, for
thing,
some
because
of the
I
women,
went through that before. I've been through that with my ex-husband. And when I was with my ex-husband told me at one point he didn't love me. And he kept
Wow.
telling me,
he said he didn't love you. He didn't
yeah,
love you.
he said he thought I was cheating. And so I told him,
Oh
it's
my.
okay. It's okay for you to tell me that you don't love me, but what you're not going to do is continue to stay in my house and
Period.
tell me
You don't love me,
Exactly.
goodbye.
But
Exactly.
number two, you can accuse me of cheating, and I'm not. But what I'm gonna let you know is, if you keep accusing me of doing something I'm not doing, you're not gonna have to worry about whether or not I am doing it. I'm telling you right now, I will be. So you choose wisely. So I let him know, because at the end of the day, no one can make you cheat. It's a choice. Now, can
no
we
one
push a
can make you
person
cheat.
to the point where they might want to see what else is out there? Yeah, we absolutely can, but they still have to choose it. At the end of the day, like I said in the live,
You're absolutely right.
a woman can walk up to your door butt naked, wrapped in a bow tie. It's your man's choice what he does with that butt naked woman.
And
Exactly.
see, for me,
Exactly.
for me, that wouldn't do anything for me because once I'm into who I'm into, nothing else takes my excitement away. I'm not saying I don't see beauty in other people just because I'm in a relationship, but I don't get no sexual enjoyment from nobody else or any type of sexual arousement when I'm in a relationship. That because I be so into who I'm with. So I feel like I got the best shit, excuse my Portuguese. So it's like, I'm not worried about nobody else. You can come up in here bouncing, twerking, putting it all at me. And I'm going to be like, thanks for the show. You got to go.
And that's because you will have love and compassion, Father. Like, that's that love and compassion. Some of these people will say they love you and they ain't doing nothing but lusting.
Right.
Yeah. Some of these people will say they love you, but they ain't doing nothing but lusting after you. And then your windows get busted out. And then here go the toxic drama. And y'all constantly arguing with each other, hanging the phone up. Some people love that. Some people love that type of toxicity, and that's crazy to me.
I can't. I don't want you to even be like that. No, I don't. I'm gonna need you to love me as a human, love me as your partner, love me as your man. I'm gonna need you to not think I'm something you can never get over. I'm gonna need you to not act like you can't stop loving me. I'm gonna need you to stop that. I'm not with that. That's berserk to me. You once did not know me, and you live. And after me, you will continue to live. I'm not that person. I don't want you all wrapped in me like that. That's a little bit too creepy for Father Lock. I'm gonna need you to just be on the mid-turn with me on this relationship. We need to be on the same plane because I'm on Delta and you on American Airlines. I'm gonna need you to come. I'm gonna need you to be on the same plane, boo.
Oh, baby, they on Spirit.
I can't. Right, I can't. I'm not that.
Because that's obsession. But that's the thing. And when you look at today's day and age, these people aren't in love with each other. They're obsessed.
Nah. It's an obsession. It's an obsession.
They've never been shown what real love looks like. They think a guy loves them if they threaten to knock your head between the refrigerator and the stove. They think a guy loves them if they're calling you bitches every 5 minutes and blowing up your phone and telling you they gonna spray up the block if you don't come outside. That's what they are. So they think love is throat baby. They don't have no songs
and then they do all this, and then they come to you, and then baby, I was just hurt. Hurt people. I hate that statement. I hate it with everything in my heart because this is what I don't get when people say that. Well, if hurt people, why don't they ever hurt the people that hurt their ass? Why they go straight to everybody else? They never hurt the people that actually hurt them.
Right.
Exactly. And I hate for somebody to take something out on me that I didn't do to you. I hate it. I'm not mature enough to not knock you down. And I'm being honest. I'm not mature enough to not smack your head round for taking something out on me that I didn't do to you.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I admit that it's not a good quality to have, but I'd rather it be known than not known and be known than not shown. That means I have to show you.
That's one of my sayings, Father Lock. I'll tell a person in a minute, did I bring you that energy? Well,
right, because I'm not with all that.
Okay, then don't give it back to me because I didn't give you that energy.
Because I let him be known. Because now if I crack you, it shouldn't even matter because you already hurt. So that shouldn't have hurt no worse.
Why is you standing up looking like a silverback gorilla? Why is you sitting up here all in my face and spitting? Why? Like all of that is unnecessary. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Okay?
Progressive way. I think you were trying to say something, but you gotta put the phone closer.
I got you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, babe.
This is the thing, right? First with the cheating. With the aspect of the cheating, first of all, an individual must be able to turn the mirror around on themselves. And that's what people don't want to do. People usually don't have a problem with being honest with others. They have a problem with being honest with themselves. When the individual cheats, it's for one of two reasons. One, either the individual is greedy or there's a deficiency in the relationship where they currently are, but it's still on that individual because you are not man or woman enough to speak to your partner and say, I feel like this is missing for me. to be
Yep.
able to actually see
Right.
if your partner can go to the level that they need to in order to make you feel comfortable. Because you got to realize, even though you're both on the ship, you're two individuals that are growing in two different ways. So you have to constantly communicate. If not, a deficiency will be created. Either one will outgrow the other, or one will become insecure towards the other.
Right.
Then to the aspect as far as what Father Locke was saying, when people, and you all were saying, when people turn it around on each other, again, people are too afraid to face themselves. Because if you turn that mirror around, the individual don't want to go to the individual who hurt them, because they know that they're not strong enough to handle the individual that they let in their life.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly
true.
a deflection. Nobody reflects, everybody deflects. They deflect their own personal aggrandizements on everybody else. And that's just how, and it's a constant thing. Like, when he said about the cheating thing and turn it, because you do have to turn it on yourself. You do have to look at yourself. Am I causing this? Or is this just an emotion, or this person is just who they are as a person? Because you can't just condemn this person if you're playing a part in them standing out on you.
Right.
Now, I agree with him. Like, you have to, when you know that you're in it and you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and then when you start getting fed those type of activities and energies, now it's easy for you to point that finger. There's no need to deflect, because that's just exactly where it's coming from. But if you doing little odds and ends, bits and pieces of things, and then you sit up there and put this puzzle together that caused this stuff to happen, then you're going to have to accept your part in that happening.
And a lot of times, are we even,
to
here's one of the biggest problems, and y'all kind of getting a sneak peek, because this, like, you know, probably in like lesson 5 or 6. But here's the thing, right? If you're on a ship, just think of a cruise ship. Ever so often, that ship has to be maintenance. What does that mean? Things have to be changed out. Things have to be conformed. Things have to be cleaned. Things have to be upgraded. Things have to be switched out. It's the same with your relationship. It's the same, not even the same with your relationship, but it's the same with you as well. As you get older, the same things that you wanted at 22, you shouldn't still want at 35.
Thank you. Oh my God. I was waiting on somebody to say it.
The same things you wanted at 35, you shouldn't still want at 47.
That's right. That's right.
Because there should be growth. So you should want something different. Not only should you want something different for other people around you, but you should want something different for yourself.
And that
you
is
still
so
got
cool.
these older men that's 60-something years old with their pants sagging, just like 17-year-olds. You still got these men walking around here thinking that they still teenagers. You know why? Because the new fad is, if you 25 years old, you can be with a 40 and a 50 and a 60-year-old. And let me see how that work out for you. So y'all done wasted all of this time trying to be in something that you knew you shouldn't have been involved in the first place.
Right.
But this is the thing though too. I feel with older men who are proverbially stuck in a time warp. Those individuals 9 times out of 10, they had a good woman, and I mean a Claire Huxtable type of woman.
Tell it.
And wanted to be a boy and lost her.
Dealing with another type of ship that we didn't mention. They're riding on a ghost ship. That's the thing. Tell me how to handle the ghost ship, because I want to love the great thing that's in front of me, but I'm on this ghost ship too, and I keep being haunted by the ghost of my past. I know you're not her. I know you're not her. I know you're not him. But you did that one thing like Andre, or you did that one thing like Sheila. Sheila is gone. Andre got somebody new. Why are you still riding on the ghost of them?
Exactly.
And see, here's the thing. Every ship that you jump off of is a ghost ship because you're no longer on it. Period. And that's why we have to be careful with what ship we decide to board and set sail on. Because once that ship sets sail, all you got is open water. So if you
That's right.
decide to jump off that ship into that ocean, now you have to face the uncertainty of the ocean because, like we said today, underneath that water, baby, is a whole new world
It
waiting
surely
to
is.
devour you. Stuff
That's
that you ain't
right.
never
And
seen before, stuff you've never heard before, stuff you've never experienced before. Sharks coming at you to eat you, depending on where you are. You could run into an eel or an octopus. Places got jellyfish, all kind of
Hmm.
shit. Flip
That's
that
why I'm a
around to
land
the dating
creature. I
pool.
only like the road.
Flip that around to the dating pool. It's the same thing. You got ninjas out there that's waiting to devour you. You got women out there waiting to suck you dry, leech off
I'm
of
on.
you. You got to be
Hmm.
careful what ship you decide you want to get on. Because if
I'm.
you have to abandon ship in the middle of that water, and the problem is, a lot of times when we have to abandon ship, like Progressive One was talking about, we leave a lot of stuff behind. So
Yes.
now you're
Hmm.
trying to board a new ship. And a lot of times, because we never gave ourselves the opportunity to make it back to land before we jumped on a rescue ship, then we fall in love with the rescue ship. But part of us is still on, as Progressive One said, the ghost ship because it's going in another direction. But it's got your heart still, it's got your
I'm.
body
Hmm.
still, it's
Hmm.
got
Yeah.
your emotions still, even
Mm.
though you're no longer there, that ship still has part of you. And that's why it's haunting you because you left part of you still over there.
Yep.
I'm.
Yeah,
I'm on.
pretty much.
I noticed everybody else tonight when I sat here and I thought about it. Everybody in their own way took the initiative to free themselves from their ghosts, from athlete's footstool, etc.
You know
So,
Hold
what?
on, nigga.
I
so,
can't with you, Professor.
so, so, so I want everybody to scoot in because this is a Champagne family story time extension, if you will. Unfortunately, we don't have avenues like this, and I'm going somewhere where people who are coming up behind us can actually see. That's why I be praying that this thing blow up big because there's
Yes.
no one to tell us, and then unfortunately we have to learn it on our own. I'll tell you my experience. I was in church and I was doing my thing proverbially, whatever that is, to be quote unquote church famous. And I met this young lady, and unfortunately I didn't see that she was only with me for clout. And
Wow.
I didn't
Mm.
realize it until it was too far gone. But all the while, people in the church saying, "Man, hold on, just pray. It's gonna be all right. Just hang
Huh.
in there. The Lord's gonna do it." All the time, I'm just being beat down. It got so bad that she introduced me one time as her brother. If I would have had my gun on me, I would have been.
Oh no, she
Wow.
didn't. Oh
Wow.
So,
Now she
wow.
pulled the brother card.
so when you talk about jumping into a new relationship and those ghost ships, sometimes them ghost ships be so deep
Yes.
out into the ocean. And you be trying to swim and get that, and then at the same time hold on to this good luxury yacht that you got over here. But all the
Right.
time, man, I gotta sink that ship over there.
Wow, babe.
You
All
know the
that
part of
glitter
me
ain't
is,
gold.
you don't have
In
to
my
jump in the water to
opinion.
try to go get your stuff back. You just have to look at yourself like Neo. When you realize you got the power, you don't have to go back to it. All you got to do is call it back to you. That's the point of being a spiritual warrior. That's the
Yeah.
power that we have in God. I don't have to go back to you to get what I left over there. All I
Uh-huh.
have to do is pray to God and tell God whatever I left, draw back unto me what I left over there so that I can be whole again. And if it's no longer good for me, then I need you to take whatever I left there, destroy it, and create in me something new so that I can continue to be who you've called me to be.
So would you look at that as a form of redeeming yourself?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's definitely a
Yes.
redemption, because
and
if it was meant for you to take those parts with you, you wouldn't have never left them over there. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we have the ability to save ourselves, and then sometimes we too far in, and Jesus just come through and saves us on His own will. And we don't understand why do certain things I didn't take with me, why certain things are still left there, because those are the evanescence of you that need to be left over there. They're no part of your story anymore, and they don't fit your new story, because whatever He takes back from you, He gives back 2 times more. And this is why your platinum ship is platinum, and that ghost ship is over there with things that should be ghostly left with it. Everything that was with that relationship, and all things are new. He says, see, mother, I make all things new. He made that thing new for you, and just leave everything over there where it be. It's in the right place, and you're now in the right place.
Yes, I told y'all I saw the light. It man, champagne, you and that voice and the words, honey. I saw the light. They kept on saying, "Come this way, come this way," because some friendships will hurt you to the bone,
I
for real.
swear.
And a lot of times it's because me myself, I kept holding on to something that I already think they want for the right thing, but I be wanting to have this hope that maybe they would change, or I didn't see that. You can't do that. You can't see something go down and then try to close your eyes and say you didn't see that. Oh yeah, that happened. So once your eyes are open, you can't fake the funk no more. It's like a lot of people are living in delusional worlds. I've been seeing that a lot lately, living in this world that we're living
Hmm.
in right now. People are living in delusional sites. So how can I still be a friend to you when you can't even see the forest for the trees? You study want to live in this fake fairy tale world and want me to stay in there with you. Okay, master. Okay. Oh no, I'm not about to do that
Right,
one, baby. I'm not about to do that. Treat no
but that's
fish.
right.
that's
It's
the thing though. It
almost,
goes back.
yeah.
It goes back to what you were saying as far as where we kind of began as far as friendship is concerned. How many people can actually say they have somebody that will legitimately turn the mirror around on you and say, "Hey, this is you." The same instance in that, as far as looking at you, you have to look at yourself like I did. And I was going to say, as far as after my marriage was over, I had to look at myself and say, why did you allow that in your life? Like, why did you choose that? And
Yes.
everybody was like, and then like, this is the killer part. And then people made me mad with this. They was like, we knew all the time, but we couldn't tell you, or we
Oh no,
told
it's a
you,
fine time to say it.
or we told you and you wasn't listening. Hey, you should have locked me in the room
Exactly.
with 2 pit
Ooh,
bulls.
Exactly. Created a war room. Get me up out of here.
ooh.
Get me up out this relationship. Shoot.
That's why we got to be
Wow.
so careful how we go in. That's why we have to start
And
asking the questions. You
this
got
is
to make
why I go.
sure.
You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, love. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You got to make sure that the people that you're surrounded by, and here's what we do with friends, right? We get friends and we put everybody into the same category.
True.
Everybody in
Yeah.
your life is not in the same category. You
Right.
have people in your life right now, at the moment, as we speak, that are in your life for a season. You
Mm-hmm.
have people who are in your life for a reason. And you
Amen.
have people who are
Hmm.
in your life for a lifetime. But
That's
what
right.
we do is every time we meet somebody, we put them in that lifetime category without
Yeah.
even choosing or having a standard of measurement to measure them against to even know if that's the category they should be in. What is the reason this person is in your life for? Because if they're in your life for a reason, guess what? When that reason has been fulfilled, that person is going to walk out of your life. And that
Pretty
does
much.
not
We
make
don't.
them a bad person. It just
Right.
means the reason they were there has been fulfilled. Same thing
You
with
don't have
seasonal.
to. Yep. You reach your point of the road.
Absolutely.
Panel, I want to come with a humble heart, mind, and soul to you guys and say, Champagne, thank you for giving us a platform to be able to express these things that are not mostly talked about. Um,
Hmm.
if can get one person to listen to us and be able to change their ways of how they're living life, just like how we did, that would be the biggest accomplishment in the world. And that's why I'm so thankful for this panel, that we are able to put opinions out here that some people might have thought of themselves, things that they done been through. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all gonna go through trials and tribulations. It's just, what did you learn from it?
Right.
What I
That's
like
the-
about the
that's the
panel
question.
is the fact that we can come and express these things, and no one has to feel as if their opinion has no validation, it has no merit. Everybody's
Yes.
opinion is
Yes.
heard, everybody's points are heard and understood, and even their and to be able to talk to like-minded individuals and be able to talk and not have to fuss and feel like everything have to be dramatic and we got to be arguing. And this is, you know how everybody doing their panels, like you just got to have drama, or they panel is boring. They don't, nobody never argue, don't nobody never get into it. They don't ever have no drama. Ain't nothing juicy. That's because we're not children.
Right.
Exactly. And then a year later, they're gonna be on high blood pressure medication from doing all that hollering and screaming.
I know. I'm sorry. If I want something juicy, I go drink juice. That's why it's called juice.
Hey y'all, let me hold on, y'all. A funny moment, right? So last night when we were on the live, when I was playing the video, I had reached over because I was drinking a Four Loko, right? So y'all listen, don't laugh at me, don't judge me.
Exactly.
So I was drinking a Four Loko, right? But I also had, you know, my medicine, you know, my little medicine. Okay, I had my medicine. So I was ashing my medicine in the can. What happened was, in the middle of the live, I confused cans.
Oh no.
No.
You didn't.
Not the Empress had an ashy mouth.
Oh my, see, that's that Four Loko. That's that Four Loko. Heck no.
Oh, man.
Okay, Champagne.
He just cremated me, fam.
I tilted the can back, and I'm like, why my drink tastes crunchy?
What you say? This loco was too loco for me.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it got crunchy in this boy.
Before I knew it, I had spit everything out. Lord, it went on my floor, it was on my shirt, it was on my computer, but I had to continue the show. I said, thank God this camera ain't on right now, because
Maybe you should just try one loco. Don't do four loco. Just do one.
Yeah, just one Loko. Do the Loke and not the O.
Right. Do low, but not oh. Right. Sounds right.
No, also as well, I do appreciate the platform. I appreciate the energy that you put into it, because I look at a lot of channels, and
Me too.
only one that I'm currently subscribed to, and that is yours, because I appreciate what you put into it, like for real. And I literally believe that this can be like a change center for anyone who would dare come encounter with us. And the thing that I would encourage us all to do, which is proof positive with all of us on here tonight, is to be more open when we go out, not open to like so much to the point to where we're putting ourselves in a place where we could be attacked spiritually or otherwise, but to be open. Because a lot of times when you have genuine people like us, and I'm not saying it because we're better than anybody else, but we're on this panel, and I just get that vibe from all of us that we're on the same vibe. And most times when you're an individual that's like that, that's for the people that wants change, 9 times out of 10, you usually connect with people who are not on your level and who will never be on your level. and then you end up your entire life just fixing. But at the same token, that's cool, help who you can, but you have to have somebody in your circle that's stronger than you, that knows more than you.
That's right.
That can pick
That's
you up
right.
and down.
We all
Because
can't be on
you're
the same ground, and if some of us fall, who can pick anybody up? You absolutely right. I totally agree
That's
with
right. That's right. That's why I love this panel, man. I'm subscribed to damn near probably 2,000 people, but I've only messed with this channel. You know, it's like I always give my comments everywhere on different platforms or whatever. I
that.
get strong feedback. I do, but at the end of the day, it took me to. They just don't understand what I went through to be able to give that type of feedback. You know,
Right.
Right.
we have been through so many trials and tribulations to the point where you do have to eventually humble yourself and take another direction. Like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Why am I in my? Why do I have myself caught up in this? Why, Nisi? You better take a look at yourself, because it ain't
Yeah,
the other
pretty
people
much.
now. It's
Sometimes you
about
have to say,
yourself.
God save me from myself. Sometimes
Exactly.
you have to ask
You
him
have to.
to save
Sometimes
you
you're
from
gonna be scared
yourself.
of y'all. I'm scared of myself at times, because sometimes I make decisions. Everything in life is about choices and decisions, and you have to be able to deal with what you made with those choices and decisions.
You know what? You're
Consequences.
supposed
They
to
are called
always give yourself
consequences.
that shout out. You're absolutely right. And
So
people don't
that's
know
my
that.
only thing, y'all. That's why I like kicking it with y'all, man. It feel like I'm in that world that I always seeked. You know, everybody is not perfect. No, we are not. But we can make a change. You don't have to be that same monster. Because I used to be a monster. Man, I'm so humble when it comes to things. Now I'm not to the point where I feel like I've been there. I have done it, and if I ain't been there and done it, I've seen other people go through it. And
I bet
baby,
you
this
be
world
more
that
at
we
peace.
living in right now is about good versus evil. It's like, which side are you gonna pick?
And I guarantee you, I bet you be at more peace now too, that you're not much of a monster like that no more.
Oh yes, I'm so much at peace because I lived a horrible life. And see, I'm going to mention this because my life is on the internet. If you look me up, you're going to see me on the internet. So I'm going to speak this. Yes, I've been raped, I've been molested, I've been fucked up. My house got burned down after I got raped and shot. You know, I've been through a lot in my life. And to sit up and sometimes having to see other people who ain't even experienced nothing on my end of the stick and treat life like it's nothing, that burns me up a lot of times. You know, people take life for granted and not even understanding. There's people out here who are torn, but I was still able to get back up. You understand where I'm coming from? So yeah, a lot of times I might do take some things serious, you know, but I have to learn too that it is a good part of life. It is.
It is. It
If you don't
definitely
take
is.
anything serious, you won't take anything serious.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
And the problem with a lot of us right now is we don't take nothing serious.
That's why I keep saying, you're right. I tell people you ought to look at everything serious until someone tells you that it's not serious.
There's a guy who wrote a book. His name is Eckhart Tolle, and it's called The New Earth. And the premise that he's teaching on is basically the power of now. So many times we spend so much time focusing on the past, so much time dreading and hoping for the future that we forget about the now.
It
Because
takes
all
away
we
from
have
the
is
now.
now. That every moment is a forever now. What are you going to do with now? That's the question.
Exactly.
Because the past is
Exactly.
going, the future is going to come when it comes. But what are you going to do with now? If you ain't got the money right now, why are you stressing over it? If you could have got it, you would have got it.
Right.
If you don't have a partner right now, if you could have got it, you would have got it. You
That's
don't have
right.
it right now. So what are you going to do to fill in that time so that you could be okay for now? Not forever,
But for
just
now, yes, because it's a time and a place for everything.
And then on top of that, there's another guy. His name is Robert Frost. He summed it up real quick in this way. And if you can understand this as far as life is concerned, friends, family, or otherwise, it helped me to overcome a lot of things. He said, I sum life up in 3 words. It goes on.
Yes, it
It
does.
goes on. Life is going to go
Yes,
on.
it does. Yes, and time stops for no one. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why we have to maximize each moment. That's why
Yeah,
we have to make sure that we are doing as much as we can to fulfill our purpose in the earth realm with each second that God gives us, because,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it goes on. It's not going to wait for you. Time is not going to wait for you to decide to get ready. Time is not going to wait for you to choose to do something different. We have to be the change that we want to see. And that change
Yep.
has to start within us. Too many times we spend time trying to perfect everything around us, and we don't take that same time and look inward, look at the man in the mirror and say, hey, let me allow perfection to start with me. Let me start trying to perfect me. The way I think, the way I
true.
act. I tell people all the
That's
time,
right. That's right.
I am the type of individual where you cannot easily set me off. You can't. Because I
Me
learned
either.
to hide my triggers. I learned to hide my triggers, and the reason why I had to teach myself to hide my triggers is because I have a very bad temper, real bad. Oh God, real bad. Like I can go
Yeah.
from zero to penitentiary like real fast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because I'm a person of peace, like I value peace above anything, I had to realize, you know what? As long as you keep showing your buttons, people are going to continue to push them. So what I have to learn how to do is remove the buttons, because if people no longer have access to the button, they can no longer push. So when I started removing those
Mm-hmm.
buttons from people's access, then guess what? You can't make me mad because you don't have access to that part of me. And
That's
if I
right.
I
see
agree.
that
I
you're
am.
purposely trying to push me, then I have the ability to walk away. I was having
That's
a
right.
conversation on the other day, and we were talking about God. And I said, a lot of people say God knows all. He know what you're going to do before you do it. He know what you're going to say before you say it. My opinion on that is not that God knows what you're going to do before you do it, or what you're going to say before you say it. I believe God knows the outcome of your choice. Because if you say God knows what you're going to do before you do it, then that goes against the very aspect of who He is, which is a God of free will. That meant
Uh-huh.
you didn't have free will in what you were getting ready to do, because He had already predestined that you were going to do it. No, it's just like the Matrix. You got the red pill, you've got
You
the
got the
blue
blue
pill.
pill.
I know
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen if you choose the blue pill. I know what's going to happen if you choose the red pill. But the choice is up to you. And it's the same way with us in our everyday life and what we choose to do with it. You have the red pill, you have the blue pill. You can choose the street, you can choose fame, you
Yeah.
can choose money, you can
Yeah.
choose to party, you can choose sex. It's all your choice. But you
Talking
have
that
to be
shit.
prepared for the outcome of that choice once you make it. One of my favorite sayings is choose your struggle. Which one are you going to
That's
choose?
right.
Because a lot of the reason why we're in a lot of the predicament that we're in is because of our choice. I chose bad. That's why
That's
my
right.
marriage failed, because I didn't be careful with my choice. Not only that, but a lot of times what happens is we make a choice, and just because you made the choice doesn't mean you're ready for that choice. So instead of taking the time out so that I can get to know me and my choice can get to know them, and then we can figure out how we can merge together, no, we want to run and jump in it right away. So
I want
we
to
haven't
piggyback.
even learned each
Oh,
other's
okay. My
choices.
bad.
That's the
I just
problem
wanted to
that I have
piggyback
with.
off of that champagne. Only thing I wanted to say, I do talk metaphorically a lot, and even though I did go through that, but I also want to say you can also be raped metaphorically. And what I mean by rape metaphorically is, dang, you just raped my bank account. You just raped me of our friendship. You just shot a lot of moves at me. That is so.
Yeah,
I also
because that
mean that
just means
metaphorically
violation.
also. Yes,
for
Right.
so
any
it's a lot of times that a lot of us are wounded, and yeah, a lot of hurt people do hurt people. You just don't use that as an excuse for what when you done got caught doing some bullshit. That's the difference.
Exactly.
It
That's
is
a
hurt
big
people that
difference.
hurt people, but you don't use that as an excuse to make up for what you done done to other people.
That's
Because
right.
hurt people don't know how to get somewhere, sit down, and heal. That's our problem.
Exactly,
We jump from
Yeah.
exactly.
friendship to friendship. We jump from relationship to relationship. Every ship that we're in is a rescue ship. It's a savior ship. A lot of us have never been on a ship that was not a rescue because we jump from one to the next. We jump from that one to another one because we have a problem with being alone, with being, you know, 2020 messed a lot of us up. That's why one of these nights, and y'all got to let me know um, when y'all be free, because I want to go over to Patreon and do a watch night so we can do death to
These night
2020.
times work for me always. So always remember, Nisi B can always be on at 11. This works out
Okay,
for me a
11.
lot.
Got you. Because I think when Father Lock works, he generally get off at 11 too, right?
Yeah, because I work for myself, so I get off whenever I want to.
Oh,
Actually,
got you, doggone it. I'm
Yeah.
trying to grow up and be like you.
See,
I'm
these are
trying
Hashtag
the
to
goals.
and
times.
be like
Yeah.
you.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, we trying to get that voice intact too now. No.
Listen, get ready for the quiet storm.
And do you know I write erotic, y'all? I have a lot of things that I have wrote erotic
Is
because I like
is
writing.
that your erotic voice when you're doing your
Yeah,
voiceover?
she can read my
Hold on,
poems.
hold on.
Mine's always I can't do mine because mine always sound creepy, like I'm finna cast a spell on you or call demons to come to your house. I can't do mine.
hey, 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 Father Lock.
Yeah,
Now, girl, keep that thing up. Bippity boppity boo.
right. They think I'm gonna do the icky picky on you, like, cause that's what everybody told me when I did my thank you video for everybody that was saying thank you for my birthday. So I did my thing. They was like, I swear you sound like you was some vampire that was thanking everybody.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, well, I mean, I try to talk with a higher tone voice because my actual voice is like, it's really bassy like this. So when I'm trying to tell you about the new things that's coming to my channel, you may not be aware. See, it sound like I'm finna cast a spell on you.
You know, I have some story times that because I'm a writer too. I do a lot of writing. I have
Oh, we
actually
need to talk then, Empress,
I
because so do I. I've been writing since
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
a kid.
See, we
I
got some
actually
writers
have
up here. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I actually have 3 books that are self-published that I
Really?
See,
published.
you're gonna have to show me how to do that, Champagne, because I had
Absolutely.
introduced my stuff to writers weekly. I had gave them the poem that I wrote about me and my kids. They gave me $600, y'all. I ain't gonna lie about that part.
Oh,
They gave me $600 because I won the poem of the week. But
Oh,
they
that's what's
they
up.
also said that if I go further with the book that I'm writing, that they wanted 20% if they publish. This is about my life. 20%, Champagne.
yeah. So you had it good because when because I'm a graphic designer too. So that's why I say everything that y'all
Go
see on my
ahead,
channel, I
mama.
created it all.
Go on,
Like
girl.
from the edits, the backgrounds, even the dolls and all of that. I created all of that. But
So you do what
um,
I do.
yeah, I do
Oh
all
my
of the create,
God.
all of it,
I
all of it.
knew when I found your channel, I was supporting you and was trying to get you there for a reason.
Yeah, the creating, the editing, the music, the transitions, the
Oh,
everything,
that's what's up.
the thumbnails,
You-
all of those thumbnails you see, I created all of those on my
I
own.
love your thumbnail. I love every thumbnail you create. I was
Yeah,
I
like,
love
she
it
be
all.
killing her thumbnails.
my intros, y'all know I'll create another intro in a minute. Did y'all see the intro I played
The
today?
intro be
Right.
vibing, okay? The
And see
intros be
me,
like progressives say. The intros be introing, okay?
and see me,
They
I'm a CG person. And me, most of all my shows are just like being an old school person. Most of my
Right.
shows come on like old school shows. They have me in them. The visuals pop in, pop out of me, like a
Yeah.
past episodes of the show before you actually see the show or this and that and that, stuff like that. And I love to shoot in CG. I miss my virtual theater, doing my reactions in my virtual theater. I designed that theater. It took me almost 6 months to design that theater and design every different hall to go do a reaction in, so it's like you at an actual theater. That's what started. Actually, the show is Father Locke's Horror House. It started off with me doing the Father Locke's Fave Horror Hall of Fame, me inducting all my favorite horror films I've seen throughout my life and putting them in my own Horror Hall of Fame. The spinoff is Horror House at the Movies. That's me doing the reaction to the new movies coming out. So I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing, like just sitting there with the camera, then you just sit in this little box and then reacting to the trailer or whatever the case. No, that's not how Father Locke is. Not that, baby. I'm gonna need some production to have that.
Right.
So I designed So I designed the theater. That's why you see the marquee or House at the Movie, then the doors open, it takes you in, and what we finna react start flashing on the screen and gives you the title or whatever, and you see me pop up in the corner.
And what you use to create that?
For me, I use stuff like Open Reel, Capcom, Pinnacle Studios, stuff that they use in Hollywood.
You don't have to talk.
Yes, I said we gonna have to talk some.
Hey, because I low key want to shoot a movie. I ain't even playing with you. Like
I did one already. We called it Dead Time Stories. Me, my nieces, my nephews, my brothers, sisters, and my kids. This was the year 2003. We shot it in Gary, and that's what made us leave, because we think when we shot, after that, we start having paranormal stuff start happening to us. And then 8 years later, LaToya Amon's story came out, and she lived a block away from us. She lived 38th in Carolina. We lived 39th in Carolina. I got the house. I was gonna do my video about it. I'll show y'all the house, because I'm still gonna do my video about it, because people keep on asking me, are you gonna talk about the deliverance, since you know about her story and her brother is your god brother, like you know them like that?
Father Locke, my great grandmother lived in Gary, Indiana. I have a great auntie named Mary. She got 10 sons, and one of her sons is blind, and they still stay in Gary, Indiana right now. So it kind of when I first heard about the story was through my great aunt Mary, because she was telling my aunt about it, her niece. So I was like, oh wow, for this to come back about years later, because I heard about it in 2012. You know what I'm saying?
It happened to her in 2011.
That's the reason why I felt so compassionate about them using a white lady to represent their grandmother, because their grandmother. That's why I was so upset about that. That's not cool. And the way they presented it, like she was a little Tatiana and she got chemo. She going through chemo. Come on now.
That's what I didn't like about it, and I feel like for them to get compensated and get capitalized off a story that happened to this lady. This is what makes me mad, y'all. Like I tell people when I was talking to people, she had to tell her story, because there were people to corroborate it. Like when I said, what happened to me and my son, I was 27 years old. My son was 13. It took me to the day y'all saw that episode. If you ever went and watched that episode, Truly Paranormal with host Father Locke, that's the first time I ever talked about it in my life, and I was mortified. Now, you said you watched it. Now, portions of that video, you see me stretch my hands out, and my arms go missing. I'm shooting by myself. I don't have a cameraman, just like Empress. I'm a one-man show, like she's a one-woman show. I'm shooting in there by myself that night, and my green screen. I wasn't using my green screen background. I was using my green screen lens that you have to adjust to my camera lens, and adjust it when you want to change the shape to make sure you getting all of you in there and all this. All that was done before I started shooting.
Oh wow.
So when I watch it, that's why at the end of the thingy, when it's going off, it asks you a question. It tells you, during production and editing, Father Locke's arms appeared amputated in some parts of the film, but the only somebody was shooting that night was Father Locke, and this green screen is manual. You have to manually adjust it. So who was adjusting it while I was shooting myself that night?
Wow.
I wake up the next morning, y'all, and where it cuts my arms off at in the film, I had circles around my arm burning like somebody had took a razor and drew a circle around my biceps.
Wow.
Like right at the point where my arms were cut off in my video. And I said, This is it telling me to stop talking about me. Okay, your name is Empress. If I was standing outside and you was out in a group of people and I yelled out Empress, who would turn around? You would.
Right.
So if I'm talking about them, don't talk about me while I'm not in the room. Oh, you want to talk about me? Well, let me be in the room while you talk about me.
Exactly. You can't talk about me without me.
That's why I won't do the second episode, and that's why I believe some of these people be lying. They be in the interview saying, this is the most horrible thing that ever happened to in my life. Then why would you want to keep reliving that?
Right.
Yeah.
And this whole thing with the deliverance. Now, this whole thing with everybody making these videos talking about it's going to open up portals and all this. Let me tell y'all that. Don't believe that. That's how demons get to you, because they want you to believe that. When did Father God give man the ability to open up a portal to hell? If that's the case, Satan can just come out on his own.
Well, Father, like some people do play with forces like that, though. Especially when you're playing with Ouija boards and all that.
Let me tell you, you talking to a full-fledged Creole, you talking to a full-fledged Gullah Geechee Haitian. Let me tell you, sis.
Hey, I might be Gullah Geechee too. I just found out. So I'm doing research on it because I was talking to my cousin, and then I'm gonna let you continue.
Haitian Creole, and my mother is Southern Gale Creole.
And she told me that our ancestry stretches back to the Gullah Geechee. So I said I'm gonna do an ancestry.com to find out.
Well, if it stretch back to Gullah Geechee, you definitely Creole and you definitely Haitian, because that's exactly what Gullah Geechee people only originate from, and that's where they're from, Haiti.
Wow. I gotta look that up. I'm gonna look that up.
That's why I look like a damn vampire. You see my icon. That's why I look like I look like I cast spells. That's why people think I call myself Father Locke. You know, the voodoo priests always say Mama this and Papa that, and I do call myself Father Locke. Like, come on, and I'm like, y'all stop that. I don't do that. But let me tell you what that is, sis. Spirits around us all the time, both malevolent and good. Like spirits and spirits of dark. What it is those spirits are already around us. And when they doing those spells, they are invoking the spirits that are already around us.
I believe that.
Yeah, so when Hollywood makes you think that they are opening portals to hell, you put belief in that and it opens them up in your life because you believe they come from hell. So now they do. It's just like you putting belief in the power of Jesus. You putting belief in the power of some human telling you that they can open the power to hell. What human has the power? When did God give anybody the power to do that? What human? Then God wouldn't be almighty because humans got power. Where does that happen? Stop letting Hollywood make y'all see stuff that ain't real. That's their job.
I'm one of the people who ain't down with Hollywood. It's more like I know of people who set up altars and call on deities, and I know of from our Indian descent that they used to depend on their ancestors.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, because I want
the Bible says Satan and his enemies were cast down to the ground.
Right.
They were not sent to hell. Satan is not even.
Thank you. He flung them from heaven and sent him right here. He right here on earth.
I believe that. I believe we living in hell right now. This is our hell. That you create your own heaven and hell.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not that we own hell. They're preparing us for the person from hell. See, this is why everything to do with God is being turned around. This is why everything that God designed is being unfaltered. Everything about him, everything that the Father created in his design and the well of his order is being reversed. This is why you got men turning themselves to women and women turning themselves to men, and people calling themselves both. because that deity thing, if you look at that Baphomet thing, that goat thing, he's
Yes,
he's
they call it go
transgender. He has a
Yep.
woman's breast and he has a male
Yep.
body.
Yep, go Lucy.
That's an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me explain something to y'all. Okay, and this is why, because you talking to an LGBTQ person. This is why I'm not gonna let them burn up my straight people. I love my heterosexual brothers and sisters, and I refuse to let these people fool y'all. I refuse to let these people make y'all accept some stuff that we not even willing to accept. Not all gay people accept everything gay people do, but the world makes you think that.
Right.
Because they want everybody to, and this is what's causing confusion. Look how far gay people and straight people that came. Now we having this fight all over again about acceptance. Because I'm not willing to accept nobody talking about I'm a they. So you got multiple personality disorder? We know you're possessed is what you are. Because only a demon would say something like that.
That's
I'm
right.
male and female. That's a demonic influence. And what's bothering me is what's bothering me so bad is people are willing to denounce this demon and pick up the right. Like I said, this loyalty to pick up the raps for this thing. You tell these people this. I make my own choices. Ain't none influencing me. This me being me. This is how I am. And when you go serve that sentence with it, because you just gave it a get out of jail free card, you idiot. And now you get to go serve this time for it. Because you literally just told God, ain't nothing influencing you. It's your own will.
That's right.
You just said that's your mouth.
Many people. That's what scares so many people, because when you look at the story and when you look at the Ammons family, they were black.
Yeah,
that's right.
They was meant to be.
That's right.
Poor pictures and all of that.
We're meant to be. All the demonic people and its history of things that could have went on in the world. Why you go get a history, a person about why you go get somebody that in our race? Why they got to be exploited in our race? All these movies about people, come on. Because, and then y'all want to make it seem like this. A black movie about demonic possession is the one that's opening up portals. So The Exorcist didn't open up none. It had people going to get saved. It had people literally saying. It had people running. Come on now. Poltergeist, Hellraiser, Mike. How about this? Let's take out demonics, y'all. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. Come on, he was the devil's son.
That was a child. And the children of the corn. Come on now.
Which was also based on the Gatlin murders in Nebraska.
They made money off the movie Father Locking Champagne and Progressive. They made money.
Thank you. And if these people did not want these things to be put out, because here's this, why would you want to exploit that to the public? If these things attack me, now you got the whole public scared of my story. And now that's all it was to do, was incite fear. See, Satan don't have enough power, baby. This is why he can't do anything, because God got him locked away. He's somewhere. He in hell, frozen and ice up to his waist, crying blood. He ain't nowhere up here. His demons are up here because his son has to come here first. See, it didn't say Satan coming first. It's the Antichrist. And see, they're making this world prepared for him. So everything that he would like would be already of the world. Transgender people doing what they want to, folks just worshiping demons and devils and all this. This is where it's being that way. But the Bible tell people that, and it's right in their face that everybody want to say a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I don't care.
It's a good movie. I watched it. It was good.
It frustrated me for the church to be the ones to be telling people to stay away from this movie, especially when you profess to be blood-bought believers of the Most High God.
Come on, say it, Empress. Why would you have your own people instilled in fear?
Why?
Thank you.
Especially when
I said that. I said Lee Daniels wrong for that.
After Sunday,
I'm not gonna do that.
Preach this. And here, let me tell y'all something, because I talk the way that I do, and as you see in just about everything that I do, I use a Bible scripture.
That's okay, baby.
I've been a preacher probably over 20 years. So when it comes to things of the Bible, when it comes to things of God, when it comes to spiritual warfare, when it comes to understanding the demonic, I'm not telling you about anything that I heard. I'm telling you about what I grew up in. I grew up in the
Come
grand
on.
old church
Come
of
on.
God
Me
in Christ.
too. Me
The
Amen.
too.
hand
Me too.
clapping,
Me too.
foot
Well, not the
stomping,
church.
tongue talking, Pentecostal church of
Come
God
on.
in
I
Christ.
grew up
From
all
the
in it.
moment we
Come on.
learned how to speak, they taught us spiritual warfare.
This is why people like you don't need a Bible to open up and go to scripture. That's why it just come to you natural.
Yeah,
It's in
affluently.
there.
Yes.
It's
Affluently.
in
Yes.
there. So that's why I do not understand. We preach, we tell people Jesus saves, we tell people God delivers, we
Thank
tell
you.
people that you can be set free. And then when you see a movie that puts in front of you what deliverance can look like, what freedom can look like, you tell people, oh no, stay away from that. Yeah, it's only because it's bringing light to the fact of what we're
Thank
not
you.
doing in the church
Thank
that
you
we should
very
be
much.
doing in the
Come on.
church.
Thank you
That's
No,
very
what I
much.
want.
Thank
If you
you.
I
pay
totally
attention to
agree.
it, and I'm gonna let you go for a second, Nisi. If you pay attention to it, when she was sitting in that diner and she was talking to that apostle who came up to her to tell her what was in that house, and the apostle said to her, she tried to deliver the family before and it failed miserably, and it flipped to the scene about the mother unaliving her children
Okay,
or
now I
telling
remember. Right.
right?
Okay, sure
So
did. Sure
then
did.
telling her, I know what you're dealing with and I feel like I can help. First of all, you can't feel like anything dealing with a demon. You better be confident and you better know who you are.
And
So when I
see,
looked
you're
at her in that
right.
diner, I said, okay, she's trying to use this as a way for her to prove herself again.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
And you
she's finna
can't do it
fail
like that.
miserably,
Can't
and
do
she
it like
finna get
that.
the girl in trouble. And when she got
Yeah.
in that house and that demon whooped the hell out of her,
Yes, he
I
did.
said, see, this is what they don't want people to see, because y'all run around here with all these titles thinking because my name is apostle, because my name is bishop, because my name is this, that means I have the anointing on a chokehold. No, you don't. A demon don't care about your title.
So
At
no,
You
he
all.
gonna bring
cannot
up
use
everything you done went through too. He gonna
you
bring
Your
all
cannot
your
use
title,
the
demons.
demon
your
to
title
prove
mean
who you are,
absolutely nothing.
unless
Yeah.
you want that demon to show you who you are not. You cannot use a demon to prove who you are. And in that
Exactly.
No.
moment, that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to prove herself all over again. So you stepped on the battlefield for a battle you were unprepared for.
Fair for it.
That's
Yeah,
Right.
why
she
that
yeah.
demon looked at her and told her, oh, I've been waiting on you. You
Yeah,
think you
she took
want to
a knife to
rematch
a gunfight.
me? I've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
And see,
We
this is
don't
why
understand how powerful that movie was.
and this is what made me look into it and study. This is why I tell people what I tell people, and I try to make people aware. See, there's two cultures in this world, you all. The devil has his culture and the father has his. The devil's culture is woke culture, and the father's culture is the awakened culture. And people say, what's the difference? I'm gonna tell you the difference. Woke don't mean you awake. It's just like popping up out your sleep. Okay, you woke, but are you fully aware what's going on until you've been made aware what's going on?
Or do you
Come
have to
on,
go
man.
through it to see it? You gotta go through it to see it?
Come on. Come on. And this is what I'm woke. No, you okay, you woke, but you ain't aware of what the hell's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is why I try to make my people aware. I need my God's people to be aware, because me being a person who studied demonology, studied their ways, studied what they do, studied their names, know who they are, what they're about, this and then the other, who tempts you, what are they the king of, the queen of, this and then the other. Like I tell people, you have to know who invoking their influence on you in order for you to ask them to go away. By us being property of God, and Jesus dying for us and going to hell and declaring his dominion over everything to do with Satan and his host, we don't have no right to him and he has no right to us. We belong to somebody. This is why I tell people, you don't sell your soul to Satan. The only way Satan can buy your soul, he will have to go buy it from Jesus. The people that work with him, they've made bargains with that heretic, and they're using you to pay off the debt. So they make you think you did. And by you believing it, You turn away from God because you believe you done made a pact with the devil, but
Yeah,
you really
because how
haven't.
you an innocent baby, but you was born innocent, but you a little
Thank you
innocent little
very
baby,
much.
don't even know nothing, but you born in
Come
sin.
on, somebody say it
But you
tonight.
are
Come on.
innocent though. You an innocent child, but you born in a sin. You don't even know whether you perfect or not. You don't know any of this. So how can you be so innocent but be born in sin?
What it is, what that means, born into sin, it means not you born into sin. We're born in the world of sin. You're an innocent thing born in
Yes,
the
it's
world
up
of
to
sin.
you how you gonna float
Then
amongst
you
this
have to,
plane.
and then it's another thing that we have to understand, which is something we talked about with the movie. The Bible says visiting the sins of the father to the
Yeah,
sons,
yeah,
to the
Uh-huh.
third or fourth generation. So
Yep,
you
yeah.
yep.
have to
Them
understand that when
generational
you're
curses.
born, even though you are a baby and even though you are innocent, you still have the spirit of your predecessors
You will
on the
always have the
inside of
spirit
you.
of your predecessors
You're
until you
always
fully
gonna
give
have those
yourself to
spirits.
God. You're exactly right.
Absolutely. So you got
This
to
is
Yes.
why
think about,
we,
what did
yeah,
grandmama do? What did granddaddy do? What
yeah,
did mama do? And what did
So
daddy
I'm
do?
right.
suffering the
Because when
sins of
you
my
have a baby,
grandmother. I'm
you're
gonna suffer the
suffering
sins of my grandmother.
And right, and
until
men,
you break the curse of your
right. This
grandmother
is
and
why
whatever
God
was attached.
is absolutely right. You're right. Say it,
And a
Empress.
lot of
This,
times the problem is we don't know. We don't know what grandmama used to do. We don't know what mama used to do unless they tell us. We
Oh
don't
no,
know.
until the aunties and them get drunk and start telling the family business.
Because
That's
you know
how
they
I
and
gonna
found
do
see,
out.
and see,
That's
in
how I
Creole
found out
family,
about our family history is when they start getting drunk, having spades party, and somebody
yes,
don't dislike
indeed,
somebody did, and then here you go. They go all the business wouldn't put out there. So that's how
yes,
I knew we
indeed.
had generational curses in our family because people would sweep stuff up under the rug and don't want to talk about it then and handle it then, but use it as a tactic for later on.
And
And
yeah,
then what
use
you
it
have
on
to do
Mad
is
Day.
just go to
Yeah.
God and say, God, whatever is attached to me, whatever has been passed down to
Come
me
on,
through my lineage, through my mama, my grandparents, I ask you right now, in the name of your son, to sever every tie that has
come
been
on,
attached to me.
Yes.
Cancel every curse, cancel every assignment that the enemy has set out against me and my lineage because we refuse to continue to live under the curse. You
Yes.
have to pray
Yes.
because there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. So we don't know to go to God and be specific and say, okay, I need you to break this curse in my life because we don't even know what's underlying in there. We can see the
you're right.
attributes of it. We can see because we can see how our families don't even get along half the time. There's
Eh,
times where I have prayed and told God, God, first of all, where was your antennas when you
There is
set me in
nobody
this
sitting at the
family?
dinner table no more. Ain't nobody eating at the dinner table no more. Ain't nobody sitting up saying, well, how did your school day go today? I don't see that no more. I don't see, they setting the table. We used to have to set the table at 6 o'clock in the morning, watch the woodwork. We had to make sure we had what? We had dish week, we had bathroom week, we had the whoever had the basement. Like that's how we lived. It was a structured thing. People don't even eat at the table no more. It's people eating around the house. Like, why is you sitting there eating on the couch? No, it's a
But you
That's
table
know
right
why?
because,
there.
that's
Because there's a lot
because,
of people who have. Go ahead, Father Lot.
oh,
Uh-huh.
no, go ahead. I want to hear what you was going to say. Go right ahead.
That's because a lot of us have gotten attached to and created families with individuals we never liked to begin with. Here's the
Thank you.
problem. When you start looking, 2020, something happened when the pandemic happened and the world
Yes.
was shut down. People had to come face to face with themselves for elongated periods of time. Not only that, people had to come face to face with the individuals that they chose for a long period of time because they couldn't leave out the house. You couldn't go nowhere. So the only people in the house, unless you had an essential job, Father Law, because you are in, and I was working in healthcare, so we were essential. But for the other people, they were sitting at home with themselves, and they realized they didn't like what they were sitting at home with. Too
Yep.
many people started making choices based on temporal fulfillment, People started marrying people because the sex was good. People started marrying people because the money was good. And when you're not getting with someone for the right reasons, everything underneath there is going to fail. It's not going to fall in line because you didn't line it up right in the beginning.
I agree.
Right.
And the one thing that did start making people realize and this was the worst thing, and this was like the family dynamic, people being with them like that in the pandemic got reintroduced to people they didn't even know no more and had noticed that they changed drastically. You are not who I used to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of
people always say, "Oh, I've been knowing him for 25 years." That don't mean that's the same dude that you met 25 years ago. You can't always put it in faith like that.
I guarantee it makes me think the person I was 10 years ago.
And that makes me think the reason why someone will perceive that you haven't, because they haven't. For all that time we've been apart from each other, and we've especially by way of age. Now we got up in age and certain ages. I know you can possibly think I'm still that same person that I left behind 10 years ago that I left you with.
Right.
10 years ago. And if you think I'm still that same person, you gotta be the same person we were 10 years ago, which means you made no progress. You, in 10 years, you didn't make not one iota of a change. Well, then I think I need to make a change on directions from you in the opposite direction. There is nothing else we could be, because that's too many years in between for me to try to catch you up to who I am now.
That's right. That's right.
You wouldn't even understand that person. You wouldn't even understand who that is, because you haven't went in 10 years, changed nothing. Nothing about your maturity changed, your direction in life changed, nothing about your family dynamics changed, what you do in your life changed. You still talking about stuff we did that I find is so, like, I can't even believe we actually did it. But you know, and you still at that page. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were the slowest reader I have ever been friends with. Boy, I done read that book and I'm on so many different chapters in life. I'm gonna need you to go to the library and get every book I left you behind in, because I don't have time to catch you up. You need a vacuum.
Yes, some people are stuck on that same chapter. Yes, turn the page, or log out. What are you gonna do? Like, you can't keep on chasing your tail. You just can't. Like, it's just like you just. How can I? I'm gonna say this. Where I whoop myself so much for y'all, because I ain't gonna be talking about other people. I'm gonna talk about myself. Where I whoop myself so much as, if I had that real mother figure, I would have knew how to be a mother. I had to learn how to be a mother. You see what I'm saying? And that's, I think that is more challenging. Because if I had a mama to teach me how to be a mother, I wouldn't have to learn how to be one.
Right.
You know, like those type of examples, like woulda, coulda, shoulda. A lot of us are saying that a lot, when sometimes you're going to have to let the past go to continue.
You always have to let the past go.
I'm going to tell you something, beautiful lady.
We don't want to do.
I'm going to tell you something, beautiful lady. You give yourself all the clout, pat on the back, and you give yourself a nod at the mother you became for your children by way of the way you came in. And the reason why I say that is because I grew up with just my mother. I didn't have my father. And one of the greatest fathers that you will ever meet in your entire life. And my children let me know that. And the reason why I say that is because despite what type of father he could have been to me, don't entail at all what type of father I'm gonna be to my kids, because my kids and the love I have for them comes from me. I came from that dude. So how he treated me is the way he treated me by way of his heart, by me being his seed. I can't say I would treat him the same way he treated me with my seed, because I don't know how hard or not how much harder I would love my seed opposed to how until I get kids, because we can get structure on how to be a parent by what parents we had and by what parent we didn't have. And just like people who didn't have a mother figure only give their children what they didn't have, baby. That's probably why you're a dynamic mother. I can
And
only
that's the
imagine you being
reason
a
why
great mom.
I love the fact that Champagne talked about the part where the general curses. I had to stop that curse. My mama had me at 15 years old, and look what happened. I end up in the system, all type of shit. So I had to stop that with my kids. When I
Right.
had my first child, I was 19. I had a job. Matter of fact, I had two jobs. Just got out of foster care. So I can honestly say, I'm trying. Me and my kids are going to change that. You know,
Absolutely.
because at the end of the day, you can't keep living like that. You cannot keep. I got 10
Right.
grandkids. I got 10 grandkids. I got 5 girls and 5 grandboys. Do you think I want my 5 grandbabies to grow up and be 15 and have a baby? We're not gonna keep
Right.
that going. That's gonna
Right.
stop now. It got to stop.
It has, and especially in this day and age, to not have a baby that young,
Because ain't no help.
you
Where you
know,
gonna get help
Hey,
from?
right? There isn't any no more.
She wasn't there. And then my grandparents raised me. So that's why I got an old soul. And that's another reason why I be so compassionate about life. Because at the end of the day, we all go through trials and tribulations. And maybe God sometimes puts you through things so you could be that advocate and tell somebody else to stop it for them. So you can't be selfish with life. That's another thing
The
people
one
got to
reason,
realize. You can't go around asking, why did that happen to that person and it didn't happen to me? That's not how that goes.
Right.
I tell people, enjoy your test, baby. Father God always put things in our lives to show you our strength. He know our
Yes,
strength,
he
we don't.
does. Yes,
So
he
in order for
does.
you to know how strong you are, you'll never know your strength until they're tried.
Exactly.
That's why I
Right.
tell them, use me, hit me with anything, throw everything at me all at one time. The one thing I know I'm gonna survive because you created me. You didn't create garbage, so I don't have to worry about it. The only thing you showing me is how strong I am because I don't really know. But to think I'm gonna fail, I know I'm not gonna fail because you didn't create me a failure. I wasn't created by failure. I was created by an Almighty God. So I know I'm not gonna fail at this. I know the outcome of it. I have to go through the scrapes and scrapes and bruises and bumps and hurts and hollers and all this to get to where I know I'm going to get to. Because you're going to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell y'all
Well,
something. When I started this, I done told y'all a few times, when I started this YouTube channel, um, and I realized that because the mass majority is into the toxic stuff, like when I
Yeah.
go on some of the panels late at night, y'all, the level of toxicity that
Come
goes
on.
on, and then I'm watching and I'm like, these people is dropping money like crazy. So
I
you guys
told you
yes,
what happened to
yes.
me. I told
to
you what
get
happened to
money
me.
on YouTube?
I had over 800, almost 900 and some subscribers, Empress. And all because I don't want to do drama and talk about people and down people, they left me like somebody told them I had COVID through the phone.
Shut up.
They,
Hell
you see,
no.
and let me tell you the new thing, Empress. I love you, baby. All because people saw me promoting your channel. They left me. If you look at your birthday thing you left to me, I had 766 people. I only have 764 now because they got mad because I thanked you in my thank you video.
Aw.
Oh no,
Oh,
don't all, boo, don't all at all. If that's what it is, I don't want anybody like that supporting me. That's not my brand. That's not what I stand for. That's not who I am. When I came to her channel, she was in my up next. I had just got through broadcasting one of my videos. And then I'm like, what's on YouTube? The up next come up and it's her. I watched her first video. I subscribed. I even know how many people she had. She had 168 people. I was her 169th person. And within 2 weeks, she had over 500 folks. I don't lie about who I am and that I believe in somebody and I'm going to support them if I love their channel. And that's why I meant what I
well,
said. And now
well,
she
I
got
don't
she's
care
so
if y'all
sick.
got 50 people. I'm still going to support what I believe in strongly, okay? I'm fucking with the Champagne gang. I don't give a damn if we don't ever go beyond 10 prescribers. At the
That's what
end
I
of the
said.
day,
I
if
told them
it's
don't
meant to
feel
be,
like
it's going to be
that.
meant to be.
I didn't start my channel for some stardom or trying to be the big next thing. If I wanted to be the next thing, I knew to go do drama and become the next best
I
thing.
know that's right. I know that's
I've
right.
been on YouTube. I started my channel April 10th of 2010. I've been on YouTube for 14 years and I refuse to change any direction of my channel, thinking that I need to change anything to make somebody happy because I won't do drama. I don't
And
need
they
1,000
love it.
people.
Champagne, they getting cash outs for $25 and $100 for drama.
For drama and
Right.
For
argument because
drama.
I
I'm dragged.
refuse to feed. First
And I
of all,
started.
I would.
Listen. I started doing because I started doing the baddies reviews, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do baddies, and so I'm like, they kept talking about they were gonna get to the bag, and I'm like, okay, this next season they gonna get to the bag. Then that season passed. I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna be this next season. After baddies eat, I made a whole video. I said I ain't doing this no more because now I'm feeding into the very thing that I'm talking about because I'm still subscribed. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
And now look at what that world going through right now. Look at what Lemmy and them going through right now.
Hey,
I
you
changed
guys.
it all up.
It's a mess. It's a whole total mess. So they wanted that drama. Now the drama that they brought is eating them alive right now. Financially, everything.
I just can't. I just feel like the people that follow me and subscribe to my channel are very intelligent people, like-minded, good people, and I refuse to insult your intelligence and feed your spirit negative things. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel. I feel like it makes me feel like if you see how they react, they like little demons, like little minions.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Oh my God, they finna break up. Oh my God, they gay. If they like little sniveling little, and it just irritates, and it just lets me. It just only makes me see how evil and demonic that is. That it's like. There's a thin line in telling the truth and exposing somebody's life just to gain popularity.
Right.
If you're
No,
not telling
gang. Y'all know what really tripped me out? We all know that Christian and Blueface are some young kids to us. They basically
Period.
kids to us, okay?
Period.
People our age to sit there and argue with people about them young couples like that. That man, that is a hot mess. Why would y'all sit up there and even put yourself, if anything, if you're not going to be speaking inspiring our age words, then why are you sitting up here acting ratchet right along with the little youngins?
Because
That don't
that's
make
where
sense
they
to me.
mastered it. That's where they
They
mastered
still want to
it.
be them. Oh, hold
I
on,
don't
y'all.
mean to care.
Progressive chiming in because I thought you was asleep down there.
No, I'm definitely not asleep. I was just enjoying the conversation and just enjoying the knowledge that's being shared back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Unfortunately, I'm on like 1%, and I don't want it to cut off on you all. I have much love for all of you all.
We
And
love
in
you,
the word-
baby.
Love you more.
in the words of Father Lock, we're not telling people to be woke. We want them to be awakened.
All
And
right,
in the
come on,
words
bro.
of
Okay.
Leslie, in the words of Leslie from a movie, she said, "We all know where this is going, and we're gonna have to hunker the fuck down and choose a side. We done chose a side. Let's have everybody else choose the right side."
Come on.
That's
Amen.
right.
Man.
Thank you, Progressive.
All right, y'all.
Love
Good night,
you.
bro. Much love,
Y'all,
man.
that's why I had to turn around after I decided I wasn't covering that anymore. I had to pull back and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because I can't do the drama. I can't. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start just doing the celebrity covering because that's how you get monetized. And I noticed when I was covering that stuff, I was starting to see more and more numbers. So I was hitting the algorithm a little bit more. But
Right.
it was going against my spirit. And so eventually I was like, bro, I'm not even doing this anymore. Let me just do what I am called to do. So that's when I created the Champagne City. That's when you saw, because that intro, the empowerment, the one for your invitation to experience the clink.
See, yeah, we're gonna have to do our erotic thing, Champagne. We're gonna have to do some erotica one night. We're gonna have
I
to.
created that whole video just playing because I love producing and creating. So I created that whole thing. Nobody helped me do my intros. I do them all myself.
I
So
know
I
You
that's
put
know
them
right.
what?
together, and
My
then I
You
favorite
go,
one was
girl.
her.
Your intros be introing.
My favorite thing that she did that drove me to her channel was when she asked, "What do we think her obsession was?"
oh, my secret
My,
obsession.
My secret
oh yeah.
obsession, I was hollering. She started describing it. I was like, "Come on now!" And I'm seeing, watching the video, and the chocolate just rolling around, and the strawberries just dipping deeply into the wave of this pool of chocolate. I was like, I'm gonna need her freaky self to get off back on YouTube.
Well, my most exciting part is when the officer came up. Okay, I thought I was gonna ask you for his number so he can do a party for me. That dude was
Oh my
when I
God.
tell
I
you he was
was
working
like,
them
she a
hips.
mess. I'm like, come on, Empress. You better work out on this
Hold
Man,
on.
channel.
that cop
Hold
was
on.
working them hips,
I'm
baby.
talking about that's the one
See,
you
All
that's
talking
right.
what I'm
about.
talking
Come on.
about.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a whole lot of ladies who would love for him to arrest them. Okay.
I was hollering. I'm like, this girl here. That's when I think I commented on one on like, you better produce or something. I said.
But that's what I said I was gonna change it. And then, because I get bored discussing one thing. I can't even do it. Like, you have some channels that's devoted strictly to Krishan. You got some channels devoted strictly to Zeus. Yeah, I can't do that. Look, I would get so bored that y'all
That's
would be
why I
bored.
can't.
Listen, so
I
I couldn't.
can't. I
So
feel
that's
you.
Yeah,
why
I
they
would
I
got
get
a
so
messed up.
my
bored.
channel.
They have messed up algorithms on here. They really
Yeah,
do.
that's why my channel
What
has like several different sectors. Like you can
you
get
know what I want you to do for me, Empress?
what's
Being
that?
a great content creator, and I love you. I really have grown to love her. Me,
Oh, I love you back.
what I what I want you to do for me the next channel. What do y'all think of all these AI channels as YouTube content creators having to already fight against all the drama channels and trying
Say
to get
it.
where you're trying to get, and then having to also have to fight against AI channels?
Say it. Say it. But
Here's
see,
That's
my
irritating
thing,
only
me,
way
right?
this can
man.
happen, Fatherline, okay, by
Here's
all of
my
y'all being on
thing.
YouTube, if a lot of people would come together and protest that, it wouldn't be no AIs. Only thing that can happen is what people will allow. If people got issues with certain things, a problem that a lot of people got is unity. If a lot of people put in grievances about that AI system, I'm pretty sure if they see they're gonna lose money about it, they would
Because
take it down.
I did. I put in agreements because they asked us in a survey, the YouTube content creators, they have a survey and they asked us what to do. And I said, well, my biggest issue is already we have to fight algorithm to get to where we are. And then some of us
Yes,
are channels that have original content. None of us are mimicking other people. We have our own
Right.
original shows, ideas, and content. So we know it already has to find people that like our content because the only way to find it, you would have to come to my channel because it's original. To get your
Mm-hmm.
now
stardom
I
and then
have
have to
seen people use it and then I've seen people stop using it. So that was the reason why I made the comment that, and another thing too that I love about Champagne, that she said this one comment that I truly believe in all the time. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you something that somebody else told me. I'm gonna just tell you what
thank
I know.
you.
If I can't tell
Thank
you
you.
something, I'm gonna just tell you what I don't know. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
I only can go off what I know and see, or what has been
And
done
that's
around
what I
me.
like about her content because she report on stuff that I've never heard of, nobody's ever heard of, and that's how you stay ahead of the
Right.
game. It's like my
Important
Because
things
one of
that
nephew.
the
need to be
things
talked about now
one of the
instead of
things that
suits.
you fight about, which one of the things you fight on YouTube is the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have seen, and I watched this one young lady, and there's nothing wrong with her content, but her name is Dee Dee the Don. She's young. And she popped up on YouTube probably like 3 months ago with her first video. First video was 25K. Watch. And I'm like, what the hell? So I've been looking, and then I go through and I check other people's channels, and I'm like, okay, I know my content is better than this. How are they
I be
getting
doing the
in the
same thing,
algorithm?
Champagne. I be
It's
doing
the
the same thing.
This YouTube algorithm is horrible. Like right now, if you look at a lot of my videos, they'll be stuck around 47, 48 views, and then they'll cap.
No, you know what I'm finna tell you? No, I watch my views change. Like I'll sit there and have like, okay, for instance, I'll put up something and say within maybe like 2 or 3 hours, it'll be at like 200 and some views already. Say by 5 or 6 hours after that, it then went up to like 400, 500. I go back and look, and then it's back down to 3. Like, where the rest of my fucking views went, man? Like, for real, like, literally. They take some away.
Wow.
And I'm like, I just watch, because I keep count. Because this is what I do for, if I'm trying to, promote rising channels like Champagne channel and this other girl's channel and like Lil Gavin's channel. He's a special needs person and he got his little channel. He do reviews like I do, like for movies and stuff, horror movies and stuff. So I promote his little channel, whatever the case may be. So what I do is when I know, like say Champagne put a new video up, me and all my Lock family will go have a watch party. And everybody will watch that one video at the same time. We do it all the time. So that'll boost the algorithm, because if I click it, then as soon as they click it, that makes the counter move. So by the time other people, I don't play. When I don't play. So when it makes the counter move. So once the counter move and other people start watching it, then it start changing the algorithms when everybody hit the like button. That's why I tell people you can get all the views in the world. Tell people to hit that like button, because the minute they hit that like, YouTube put it right in the feed for people to find it. They put it in the up next, the suggestions, every time somebody hit the like button. So I always try to give people, no matter how many views you get, make people hit that like button. Another thing I do.
People are now telling, I know it's a TikTok thing, but I hear people now telling them on YouTube to double tap the screen. If you're on your mobile, hit those hearts that
because a lot of people don't. And I always heart it like that. When you doing a video or anything to comments, this is why I always pin your comments. I always pin anything you send. That way when people go read the comments, they be quick, because people love to read the comments and they love to read the pinned comments. Then they go to see who say it. Then they go to find out you have a channel. That's how a lot of the people found out you had a channel, because I kept pinning your comments when you would say something to me.
Got you. Yeah, because that algorithm is something else.
Mm-hmm. And I go and look at channels like big channels, like see what they new video was. And that's how I be like, what is going on? Because when I started doing the Horror House at the Movie spinoff and started doing the reaction videos, that's when Megan came out. My first video to Megan went up within like 4 hours. It was at 27,000 and some odd views. That's how everybody stopped finding me. Megan got me where I'm at, because now it's at 199 some thousand K views, and a lot of my stuff is at 1K views, 3K views, stuff like this and that and the other, because of how I was able to run my shows.
And see, here's the thing, because a lot of the topics that I deal with aren't necessarily trending topics, and that's what I'm saying. Makes it harder to hit that algorithm. Yeah.
And they tell you when you first start a channel. When I first started my channel, YouTube tell you if you don't be too original. They tell you that, but who wants to be a mimic? Who want to try to outdo? That's what everybody's doing. Who's trying to do that? I can just do it better than you. I can be more wretched than you. I can be more gossipy than you. I can be more snooty than you. I can be more snoopy than you. That's not who I am. That's not my character. That's not what I'm about. Period. And
So,
I
question:
think
people who do like movie reaction channels, how are they able to like watch the movie in the channel without
I'm
getting
gonna tell you
copyright?
what you do is I'm gonna tell you come in and you commentate. Like you watch a bit and then you come in and commentate. Go back to the
Oh,
movie,
okay.
come in and commentate. See that then that way they can't try to record the whole movie and then save the video and then crop you out and just crop the film out and use it. That's what a lot of people do because they know how to crop the film. So all you have to do is
Right.
crop around your siding or whatever you use and just crop the movie out if you watch it straight through. So when you clip it like that or fade it out, blur it out a bit while you come in and this and then the other, that's how you're able to do it. Because now with the Halloween season coming, everybody's expecting me to do, because season 2 of Father Lock's Horror House is starting this year.
Okay.
To do the watch with me, and I pick all the horror movies and we watch them together. So that's how we able to watch the movies, because I clip, I come in and say something, do my commentary on it, and it blur out the scene a bit, throughout, because they let you show some of the stuff, but then blur out some of the stuff. Who trying to use a copy of something, blur it out. Somebody keep
Right.
popping in and out talking. So that's how you're able to do that, Empress, if you do reactions, because that's how I was able to do. And it was kind of easy to do Beyonce's Renaissance album because I was doing music, just listening to her stuff. And in the background, the Lock Like that will host DJ Father Lock is me using my own CG backgrounds and graphics and doing all that stuff for that, to run that program the way that it is shot and ran and processed and
Because
whatever.
one of the things that I noticed about Beyonce stuff, her stuff automatically gets blocked now.
And
I've
the
had a
reason
few
why,
things with her music
yeah,
on it, and it's automatically, it was like, no, you got to crop it out or remove it.
the only thing I had a problem with doing the reaction to, out of everything I did reaction to when the Renaissance album dropped, it was thick. So I don't think she owns the copyrights to the music, because they took my video down when I did my
Wow.
reaction to thick. Yeah. So I just stopped doing it. That's why I didn't do the whole album. That's why it stopped
Right.
at the last thing I did, I think, from the album was if I'm not mistaken, Heated was the last thing I did. Was my reaction to Heated, and then that was it for Liked It. And I went to something else, because you're not finna strike my channel. I've never had a copyright strike. I've never had a problem with my channel. It's been in good standing for 14 years, other than the people that try to come and say bad comments and bother my people.
Right.
And I told them about that too, Empress. I let the developers knew that too when I got my survey, and I was telling them, because you have people, and like I told them, it's people like y'all that come to people channels and their communities and bothering the people in the comment section and not doing what the person in the video tell you. They didn't say come and bother my people in the comment section. They said leave your comment in the comment section, not comment to my people in the comment section. And then you have hardworking, content creators like yourself and myself who start losing people because they're afraid to come and comment because somebody keeps targeting them and saying stuff to them. And now you start losing money. Now that I'm so proud that you got to a place where you can start a membership and get some form of compensation for your hard work and your good content. That's the only reason why I started mine. That's why my membership prices is so low, $2.99 and $3.99. The lock up and lockdown. That's it. Y'all don't need to give y'all nothing else. That's good enough for right now, because once I get to where I'm going, the memberships are going bye-bye. The only reason why I have the memberships now, because I can't get revenue from the ads. Once I get 1,000 people and above to where I can get revenues from the ads, bye-bye to the memberships. I'm not charging y'all for nothing else. It's over with. I've partnered with
because
YouTube.
see, right
I didn't partner
now,
with y'all.
I have, I'm at like 3.5 watch hours, 3.5K watch hours.
Come
with like
on, that's
605
good.
memberships.
That's
So
good.
I
That's
know
good.
I'm getting the watch hours. I just got to get the subscriptions to hit that 1,000. But
Yeah,
I got
that's
till
good.
January to do that. So
So I got to go tell my Lock family, thank y'all. She just told me well her cake, her, and I know that's from us doing that watch party and keep on watching your stuff.
Yeah, cause listen, y'all, look, before you start coming around, I was like, bruh, I'm just finna stop. I'm frustrated. And then when you made that comment, I was like, oh, okay. And so when I kept making videos, and when I would make a video, I would see you were watching, you would share. And I was just
Yep,
like, oh, okay, well, if I can get one supporter, because I look at supporters different from subscribers.
me
So
too.
I said, if I can get one supporter, I can get another one. Then all of a sudden, here came Niecy B, and I'm like, hey, girl, come on in. So I'm like, okay, we can do this thing, because when I do lives, I like it to be like a communication. I don't want to sit on
Hmm.
like when I watch people on YouTube, they like, you should just go live even if ain't nobody talking. Baby, I'm not finna sit on here and talk to myself. That's
Period.
gonna agitate the Virgo in me. That's not even gonna work.
And see,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
too
that's a
so
much of a
Virgo
tired.
for
Leo
you.
for
My son
that.
a Virgo. That's a Virgo for you. My
I'm
son
too
a
much of a
Virgo. My
Leo for
brother
that.
one
I'm gonna
and my
need.
grandbaby.
I'm not gonna talk to my. No, I'm gonna need some interaction.
I need interaction. So that's why when I first started doing lives, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do pre-recorded shows, but just release them live. But then when y'all start coming in, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing these live so that we can communicate. Then when y'all start talking back, I was like, okay, we can do this.
And like that's why I told you, you the first live I ever joined ever in my 14 years of being on YouTube. It ain't like I've never
Wow.
been asked. I just didn't want to be a part of it.
Okay,
You're
Yeah.
so
not gonna get.
y'all know y'all so supportive, right? So
Uh-huh.
let this be the only time that what I share personally about me. Just so I only did at this one time, y'all, because I'm not going to be doing this at all our other ones. Because at the end of the day, if you want to learn about me, you can also look me up. But this my last time telling my part of that because I did leash a lot out to so y'all would know what type of person Nisi is. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's all
And to see
good,
how
sis.
far
I
I done
understand.
came.
Point
So I
taken.
want this to be our only live that I had to speak up on myself. So if anybody ever wanted to know about me, they can always try to go back and refer back to this live or just look me up because I don't want to keep on repeating what the demonistic shit used to happen to me over and over again, you know.
No, don't.
So
Right? No, no, no.
just
I
gonna
know
be
what
my
you
only
mean.
live that I put it out there. This is so if y'all want to know who I am, you always can refer back to Champagne's podcast that we did today and learn about me. This is it right here, okay? The Michael
Let me
Jackson.
tell
This
you
is it.
something. Let me tell you something about myself. I am one of the things that God has blessed me with is a strong discerning spirit. So anything that
Yeah,
I attach to, anything that I reach out to, and anything that I get close to, God has me get close to them for a reason. God
yeah.
has them connect to me for a reason because they know, even if they don't know me, they can feel the spirit within me and they know I'm a safe space.
Yes, I felt that.
So anything with you that you share is because God wanted you to release. I'm never going to ask anybody to share anything personal about their life that they don't want to share. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm very transparent and I'm transparent with a purpose. Look, people start talking when Risa Tisa did her 26, baby, I could Risa Tisa you. But if I start telling my story, then a lot of people get hurt.
Oh well,
And I'm
welcome
not
to the
the type
Yeah.
of
community,
That's
person
why I ain't
Empress.
gonna
that
go no further, Champagne. I feel you. But you brought that out of me because my therapist used to always tell me that I could get over a lot of my past if I speak about it. And
Mhm.
and sometimes you don't want to tell everybody your business, because they'll take it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Turn it into something that you ain't even live yourself.
Let me
So
tell you another way to speak about it. And see, now you finna make me tap into the personal coach side of me. Because a lot of times when you can't verbalize or don't want to verbalize it, that's what writing is for. That's what journaling is
Yeah,
for. So when I was going through what I was going through, I
uh-huh.
didn't have anyone that I could talk to. Number one,
yes,
because
writing
majority
got
of the
me through
people
some
attached
stuff.
to me feel like I'm the strong one. So they're always coming to me for help, which means when I hit a moment of vulnerability, they can't handle it. because they're not used to me being vulnerable. So what I had to learn how to do, because I didn't have an outlet, I allowed writing to be my outlet, especially if you write poems.
Oh
Because
yeah, I
nobody
used
is
it
gonna
as
look
my
at a
outlet,
poem
but
that way.
Champagne, it wasn't. I swear to God, y'all, I was going through so much that even when I wrote, I wasn't. And once again, I'm gonna blame myself because a lot of these situations I put myself in. So to the point where I was not loving myself. So when I started not loving myself, it was like writing or nothing could do it. You know what I'm saying? I started
Yeah,
self-destructing. I started
that's yeah.
self-destructing.
I've been at a
So
place
it
where
took
I
me,
forgot
it
how
took
to
me
love
that away.
myself.
No bullshit. It just took me that away. So I'm not saying I wanted it to be that way, but if that's what it took for me to wake up, oh baby, you ain't gotta take. All you gotta do is show me once.
Right. And
Sometimes
sometimes
you
with
have to go
writing,
through the flop before you get to the snow.
that's so true.
Talking about get beat
Sometimes you
up.
have,
I felt beat
yeah.
up just like that lady in that damn movie. I was beat up. Seriously. You know when your heart hurts, you can't go in there and put peroxide on it or alcohol in a band-aid. That's
No,
a
you
hurt that
can't.
you cannot even cure. It's not even like a wound. It's oh my God, it's beyond. It's something you can't explain when
I'm
you
gonna
got a
explain
broken
something to
heart.
you, and a lot of people don't know these things. It hurts us even harder when you break a man's heart, and women don't know that because men
I
are
can
not
I can
quick to let
understand it though,
people
Father.
know.
Like I got a brother, I got cousins. I think that pride when you break a man's pride, you do not even understanding what you done.
It's for me. It's not so much as pride because I'm not a man of pride. I'm a proud man. I'm not a
Yeah.
prideful
They
man.
don't give their right. They don't
What it
give their
is for
heart out
me,
easily. So when they give their heart
yeah,
out and they're broken, then
yeah.
what happens is it takes longer for them to trust because they're giving you the most vulnerable part of them.
Exactly. I agree. I
The
agree.
reason why I say it hurts a lot worse because when you're a good man and you're trying to and you're going in, see me when I enter something, I enter going all in right off the bat. I don't have to be told how to do somebody right. I don't have to be told how to do right in my relationship. I don't That's not anything you have to be told to do. That comes with you just wanting to do right or do wrong. That's just it. That's just who you are. You don't have to be taught that, you know. So it's for me, it kind of almost destroyed me.
Yeah,
I'll
me
tell you what.
too.
I'll tell you. Now let me tell you what happened. Since you gave a bit of yourself out, let me take you into this scenario. At this time, I think I was uh couldn't have been no more than maybe 24, 25. And this is when I think we were what had to be like fourth, fifth, sixth, maybe 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. I know it had to be like our fifth year into being married. 6 years, somewhere in there. I got married when I was 18. Still married to him.
Uh-huh.
I was at work, like Empress said, I'm an RN, so I'm at work. And Lucy, let me tell you, when I know what women feel like, when y'all say you feel it in your guts, some shit going on, and it won't leave you alone.
Yes, the butterflies in your stomach, the feeling,
I
the emptiness. Oh my
Let me
God.
tell y'all what it did to me. This the first time as a male I ever experienced this in my life. I'm at work and somebody was due for surgery. So they put getting them in preparation. So they asked me would I go and get the utensils because they didn't have any scalpels where in the unit. So I had to go to the supply room and get a scalpel. I get in the supply room. And I don't know what happened to me, y'all. I instantly just felt like something kicked me in my heart. Like it was the most saddest feeling. Like I instantly started bawling. I just broke down to my knees crying, like heaving. Like, and I don't know why. And then it just stopped. And I was due to leave at 11:30. I left at 11. Something said go home. It instantly, my thought instantly went to my home. Something said go home. So I got them to scalp this and that. And it was an extra person. I forget, Melisha was there, this other nurse. And I whispered in her ear, Melisha, I think I need to go home. And she was like, what? I said, I don't know. She's like, what's wrong, Cedric? You look like you've been crying. I said, what? I said, I just got this feeling. And she said, just go. I'll cover. Just go. She let me go. She covered for me. So I clocked out, y'all. I get home. And I lived in this high-rise building downtown Chicago on Randolph Street in this loft or whatever have you.
Okay.
And I get to my door. The doorman let me in downstairs. I get upstairs. I get in the elevator. I get to my door. And I was finna put my key in the door, y'all. My key card in the door. And something said it, y'all. It's like I'm sitting here talking to the both of you. It said, don't open the door. Don't open the door. And I felt something grab my arm. I lie to y'all not. And when nobody in the hallway but me, I felt something grab my arm and said, don't go in the door. I stood there. And I could hear my bed.
Oh.
I could hear my bed.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, yeah, I could hear my bed. I put the key in the door. I walk in. As soon as I open the door, my door is moving clothes out the way. They came out, they sit at the door. I get to the bed. They so into it. Let me just make a long story short. They were so into it, I watched their whole duration of sex and let them get it all. They popped their corks and all, and I let them. And when they finished, I said, I hope it was good for y'all getting it as it was for me watching you get it.
I'm sorry, we would have been in that one.
Oh no, I ain't done. Oh, I ain't done. Old Father Locke, he turned around, he looked me in my face. I said, my bid ain't with you. You don't owe me no explanation. You don't owe no loyalty to me. Even if you knew that we were involved, you don't owe me no explanation. Only thing you owe me is 5 minutes to get your shit and get up out of here before I won't let you.
I know, that's right.
He was naked getting out my door.
Wow.
I lost my ever-loving mind. Everything behind him, he got introduced to it. Hello, table. My name is Lamont. Bloom, 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 bloom. Hello, couch. My name is Lamont. Hello, TV stand. Hello, 75-inch color television. Oh, you're pixelated now because your body looks like Lamont. Bloom, bloom, bloom. I tow up everything in my living room with him.
Wow.
And when I realized what I had done, I got up. I went and packed all his stuff. I gave it to him. I put $100 bill in his hand. I said, I need you to go as far as that $100 bill gets you. And you have 2 seconds to get out of here before it can get you out of here.
Oh, wait, baby.
He was looking at the stuff. I said, everything in here I have back by 2 days. My whole house was fixed in 2 days. I went and had everything replaced in 2 days.
Wow.
sat there after he left, and I just looked. And the first thing would it do, and I'm asking y'all on the woman's point of view, do you like this when we all grown and it's certain things we ain't into, you know. But just because it's you, I'll do this for you. I'll go
Right.
here for you. I make this happen for you just because it's you. It made me think about everything I ever done for him, everything I ever did to him. It just took me through a series of everything I had ever done with him.
Uh, 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 uh.
Wow.
I took you from homelessness.
They don't care, man. They don't care when you do stuff like that for them.
Your
It's
mom,
selfish.
it was crazy to me because I'm sitting here and your mother look you in your face, your father look you in your face and tell you, I'd rather you be a murderer than gay.
Wow.
Wow.
So you would rather him take innocent people's lives than just be in love with whom he wished to be with and let God deal with us on Judgment Day.
Wow.
Because that's who gonna deal with us, and that's only somebody that should.
Uh, 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 uh.
Wow.
He sure did. He broke my heart when he told him you would rather him take lives than to just accept that your child is being treated like the best thing that ever had skin.
Here's the one thing that we do, and then we gotta get up. Y'all, we've been on here for 3 hours.
Yes,
I
we
was
have,
looking at
y'all.
it. I was
I just
looking.
see that.
Here's the one thing that we do, and this is where we have a problem at. As when you're an individual with a big heart and you're just full of love and full of compassion, what happens is we find individuals that we fall for or that we want, and we take our heart and we just put it in their hands because I want you to know you can trust me. I want you to know that I got your back. I want you to know that
Yeah,
anything that you need, I'm going to be there. And you don't have to worry about nothing as long as you got me by your side.
why she
But the
just said
problem is
everything I said.
that individual generally never takes their heart and do the same. And this is why we have to be careful and set, because you can't control who you fall in love with, but you can control the boundaries you set around yourself so that you can deflect anything that does not reflect the love that you want in your life.
All right now.
What happens when you fall in love is you literally take your heart and you put in that individual's hand and you say to them, literally without saying anything, I give you permission to do with this what you will. The problem is we don't take out the time to see if this individual is going to take your heart and cherish it or if they're going to break it in two. But
Right.
once you hand your heart to someone, you're no longer in control of that. That's why you have to be careful who you give your heart to, especially when you're a person with a big heart, because all you want to do is love. But we have to learn how to set boundaries around that love so that we can stop being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Wow.
be the hard part for us because
It
we don't
sure
want
is.
to have to push away because now I got to protect myself. But that's what we have to learn how to do. We got to learn how to spend more time protecting ourselves, protecting our atmosphere, and protecting our space. That way, we'll start deflecting anyone and anything that will try to interfere with that protection.
Yeah,
This is why we
I think
need
a lot
each
of
other.
people need to realize love, LOVE. Those four letters are the most powerful letters in the alphabet. It's a
Mm,
verb. It's an action word. You can tell me you love me all day, but your actions gonna speak louder than your words.
Absolutely.
A lot of people use that word fluently and think it's okay to play around with that word. No, it's a verb. It's not a person, place, or thing. Which means that's something that you have to earn. That's something that grew. You know what I'm saying? That's something that was earned. And then for you to get that to destroy it, it's like, wow, you
Yeah.
really broke my heart like that after all of that.
Absolutely. Man,
After
listen.
everything and all above, you would break my heart like that. You absolutely right, Nesby. It makes you think, like, what on earth could I have
Like,
possibly?
why? Why me? Like, why did you do that?
Yeah,
Like, what was your reason? And why did you pick me?
of all the people, of all the
What did
people
I
that
do to
leave
you?
you
Because
bogus,
anytime when
when
you in a
you did
relationship,
no wrong
when
to
something go
any of
wrong, a
you.
person should be able to sit you down and say, "Now listen, I don't like when you do it like this," or "I don't like when you holler at me. Can you tone it down?" Or "I feel like you bothering me too." You know, you can sit a person down and let them know. Then you don't let me know. See, it be the sneakiness, the slimy way that you're doing this, because it could have been other revenues to resolve it than you going all the way and hurting me like this.
Yeah.
I'd rather you sit me down and tell me what's
Talking about
wrong
I'm just a
because I
telephone
was
call away. Well,
angry.
where the hell was that telephone call?
This is why it's hard for me because I'm an understanding person. I realize that we're all human. There is nothing you can't tell me. There is not a mistake you can make with me because I expect you to make some. There is not anything you can say wrong
Exactly,
to me because I
exactly,
don't
Father
expect
Lot.
you to say
Tell it.
everything the right way. I already come with the thought that you're human, so I don't expect a super beast. I expect a superhuman. No, I don't. I got a superhuman. His name is God. I didn't ask for a new one. I need you to just be a human being that of the way that I am, the
Well,
same and
well, if
nothing
you look up
different.
the word mistake, it says that it's an action that only happens one time. You only can make a mistake one time. If you
And
keep on doing the same thing over and over again, that's not a mistake no more.
no, that's an intention.
Now you're
And hold
intentionally
on.
doing this.
And then
That's
we
an
have to
intention.
verify mistake because to me a mistake is I bumped your table and knocked your vase off and I broke
Thank
it.
you. You
I'm
don't
sorry.
mistake
That wasn't a
you don't
mistake.
make a mistake and sleep with somebody else. You don't make a mistake and steal from
You
me.
don't
You don't make a
mistakenly
mistake
fall in
and
no coochie.
thank
You don't
you.
do that.
Thank you.
No,
Exactly.
you
That's not
don't.
a mistake.
Not a mistake.
That's not
Not
a
a mistake.
mistake.
You walked
Then if
into
that's
that.
an because if that's the case, I mistake and let you slip in me.
Right. There's
Are
no
we a
such thing as
mistake?
it was a mistake.
Right, because that's what I would ask dude after if I was a female, a dude ever told me, "Baby, I made a mistake." So are we a mistake?
Okay, so y'all making my perfect example I was trying to make. If you can't make a mistake and go into the coochie, then why is it people who forgive you for doing it? There is people who will say, okay, yeah, we broke up about it, but we're back together. I forgave him for him being with
I'm gonna tell
somebody
you why
else
that
now.
is.
So if
I'm
he
gonna
go
tell
do
you
it
why that
again, what
is.
makes you think he's not gonna do it again? So now you study. See, that's the type of people you have to stay away from. Those type of friends right there. That ones that keep going back for some more.
I'm gonna tell you why that is. And it's not so much as they don't know that he's not gonna do it again. They know he's gonna do it again. They know that everything is going to happen all over again. The problem, what it is people don't know how to base their union with a person on how the person feels about them. You know how you feel about this person. You know your emotion. You know your heart. You have no idea how they genuinely feel about you. I see it happen all the time. Dude, why you won't leave her if she doing you like that, man? I love her. Well, why you won't leave him if he doing you all like that? I love him. Now, one time did I hear you say we love each other? Well, we
Well,
Right.
actually
since
do
I've
love
been
each
through this and I've
other.
seen this ahead of time already, don't get mad when I tell you. As soon as you get out that lustful world that you living in and you keep on chasing him, call me back. Don't get mad at me because I don't want to go through another cheating episode with you. Don't get mad at me because I don't want to be part of every time we go somewhere he pulling up and clowning and now we embarrassed.
As you shouldn't, because you don't
And
deserve it and you don't have to put up with any of that.
that's why we have our saying, know your worth and then add task. When you know
You right.
your worth, you ain't gotta worry about what nobody else is
And then
doing.
you want to
You know
question
what's
my
yours to
friendship.
do.
Oh, so you don't love me now. Now since I don't want to deal. Oh, now you don't love me. That don't mean I don't love you. I love you so much that I gotta let you go until you get it together. Cause I'd have been there. So I'm gonna have to let you go, okay? Until
And
you
here's the thing, you got to stop giving it energy. Some things don't even deserve that much energy. Some things deserve you saying what you standing on. You standing 10 toes on it, and we're not even going to have this discussion again. This is the problem. Either we're going to fix this problem or we're going to be no more. You're not going to use reverse psychology on me. You're not going to guilt trip me. You're not going to make me feel bad for my decision. You know, we all have freedom of choice. We always have freedom of choice. We don't always have freedom of consequence. This is the consequence of your choice. And I don't have to go back and forth with you over it. This is my decision regarding it. Either we're going to work it out, and if we're going to work it out, then these are the guidelines of working it out.
Right. It's like you got a penis sickness right now. I get back with you when you get yours. Well, I gotta go through it with you.
See what I found.
That's not cool.
What I found is, from my perspective, I'm being the man that I am and the type of man that I am. I'm not at all and will never be threatened by a powerful woman. I feel like she should be powerful. She's my counterpart. I'm man and she's woman. There should not be any weakness about her other than the weakness of vulnerability of her femininity as a woman, which I come in and got my protection around that as a man. This is my job, is to protect the vulnerable parts about her, to allow that to always have strength through by me and her to have the strength as a woman due by her. That's my purpose. That's my job as a man. So to have her be strong will never be a threat to me. In fact, that's what I need in order for me to be a strong man. So when I have vulnerable times and weaknesses, she and her femininity will teach me how to better cope with those, because I'm not feminine, I'm masculine, I'm man. So I need her to help me deal with my unmasculine feelings. We need each other. So I'm not at all threatened by a strong woman. I don't understand men that are threatened by a strong woman. Hence the reason why a lot of strong women get crippled by a man, because of his vulnerability. He don't know how to be strong as a man, so he weakens her as a woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are the conversations that need to be had. You know, these conversations. And that's exactly why the Managing Your Shift series was created. Because the problem that a lot of us are having now is we weren't careful how we went into these relationships. We weren't. We just jumped, like Father Locke said, I go all in the beginning. I was one of those too. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to put everything on the table. I'm going to show you everything that you're going to get when it comes to me, so you ain't going to have to guess. Well, you ain't giving them nothing to work towards. If you put everything on the table, if I go to a seafood boil and you have the seafood boil spread out on the table, I get to pick and choose what on that table that I want and what I want to leave. However, if I go to a restaurant and I order a bag, everything is already in the bag already. I can't pick and choose what I want to get because I'm paying for the bag, not for pieces that are in the bag. But that's what we do in relationships. We put everything out on the table, and then we get upset when I want the sex, but I don't want your attitude. I made mistakes, but I don't want to give you commitment. I want the sex, but I don't want to give you no time.
You right.
Yeah, I made mistakes on that one, just using you for that, and that backfired on me.
Like, we do that a lot. We make this big old spread, but then get mad when they don't eat all the meal courses.
Yeah.
Well, who told you to put this big old meal in front of me? Who said I wanted to eat all that? You absolutely right. Don't put so much out so soon. Yeah, she did. Don't put out so soon. But this is, and the reason why it was so easy for me to do that, because I'm being honest, I've always had people who were the same way. They knew what they wanted. We knew we wanted this, so we were able to put it all in. But then when I finally hit that one that, oh God, because it was not anything I was used to. And it happened too late in life, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like heartbreaks and stuff like that should happen during puppy love. You know what I'm saying? When y'all don't know what the hell is going on. Not at our age where I feel like there is nothing you should know at this point what you want to do other than who you want to do it with. You're too old for me to have to tell you anything beyond this point. And for this to be the outcome, me coming home to somebody in my bed with you,
Oh my God.
that was
Oh my God.
that was the final for me. But the only reason why it broke my heart is because I thought more of you than that. It had nothing to even thought with anything to do with what I thought of myself. It was more so
Betrayal.
I wouldn't.
Betrayal.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wouldn't have never thought that in you. But what made me get over it is the fact of what it was. A dude. I expect that in dudes. I know what I date. I know how we. So it wasn't hard for me to get past it. It wasn't even, oh my God, I can't deal with that. I can't believe you broke my heart like this. I love you so much. It was like, I never would have thought you would do this. I expect you to sleep with somebody else, but not bring them home. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? That's what it was for me. I've never been shy or privy to understand what I deal with. I'm not going to live in the fantasy that everybody else in our community do, trying to make men and women trying to do this. Oh, our relationships are just like heterosexuals. They are nothing of the same. They will never be the same. They're not even to be matched. That's why they're called homosexual relationships. What are you doing? They're not even the same word. They're the polar opposite. There are things different.
y'all, I need to get off of here because my nose is running and I keep trying to catch it and I need to get this. I need to get my stuff together.
What time is it? Is it almost?
I keep on having to push mute so I can cough. I'm gonna have to do that hot toddy thing. My son brought me. My son brought me gonna bring me in some medicine for me to go ahead and that whiskey, so I can do the hot toddy.
Over there trying to give everybody COVID 65.
I done already got tested. I don't have COVID. I went to urgent care, and you know what they gave me, Father Locke? They gave me some cough pills, talking about some little yellow pills. Talking about, I'm not, listen here. I'm finna try to do it the herbalistic way as I can.
Not the herbalistic.
And get over the stuff.
That's what I do. I tell people all of my medicine taking is herbal.
Yeah, I'm finna go the
Herbal
herbalistic
tea
way
and
and get rid of the stove.
Yeah, that's
But I
what I used
love
to
you.
do when I
Where's
was young.
Champagne? Oh, where Champagne? I love you.
She probably said, I'm tired of them. They done just left me out, so I'm going to just let them talk and leave.
I love you, buddy, y'all. I love y'all, but I got to get off of here.
I am so glad I met y'all. This is one of the
y'all.
funnest channels I have ever came to, other than being on my own, running my own. Feel free to come through and be a part of the family, baby. If you're
But
not
you know what?
already, I would love to have you as a lady
I'm on your
log.
page after I get done. Taking care of myself with this cold. I'm finna go on your page and see what's going on. I ain't never been on your page before, so I'm gonna go see what you're talking about.
So I'm a fool. I don't do nothing but act a fool and chill and just be a nutcase in my videos, girl.
That's not life. So I'm gonna go on there and see what you about. And much love to y'all. And I'm out of here.
Good night, baby, and feel better and love you back.
Thank you.